What's up, YouTube?
Yo, 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 y'all know what it is. Here we go.
It's silly.
Yo, 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 what's going on? This item most high. My tag team partner, CT, aka Chitty Bang. And we are the Reasonable Wrestling Podcast. Happy New Year. What's going on with you, my brother?
Happy New Year. A new year, same shit. Or hey, listen, new year, new wrestling at least. We got a lot to talk about today. I hope y'all had a great new year. This is the first Reasonable Wrestling Podcast of 2023. We're here on January 5th to bring y'all the week that was in professional wrestling. So tune in live here on YouTube. We are also on Twitter at RW Podcast One. We are on Reasonable Wrestling Podcast on IG and on TikTok and on Facebook. So just search us up. Your boys will be live in there, and check us out if you like our content. Hit that like button, by the way, and subscribe because we got a lot to talk about. Um, moving forward. Oh yeah, if you don't like, if you want, check out the merchandise at EIWshop.com. It's Rumble season, but we'll get to the Rumble in a moment. But this week, it's been the talk of the town, as we see down in the ticker. New Japan Pro Wrestling. But let's bring it to international as a whole right now to start the show. Because before we get to New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom, and all that, we had one of the greats in New Japan have one of his final matches. Well, he had two final matches this weekend against Shinsuke Nakamura, the Great Muta, faced Shinsuke Nakamura in Pro Wrestling Noah. And I thought this was special. Honestly, I watched the match. It was very, very much a back and forth affair. And the reason why I thought it was special because he handpicked Shinsuke to be a part of his farewell tour, and Shinsuke ended up pulling out the victory. What I took away from this match was essentially, if does W first of all WWE let him do this, like he got permission from WWE to go across seas and wrestle Muta in his farewell tour. Obviously, Shinsuke has a lot of respect in Japan. He's like a rock star out there. He's a celebrity, so it's huge for Japan to see him back there. He's had back his hometown. If you saw his entrance, he looked like a damn god. Came out in all the white, looked like a fucking angel, man. But they had a great match. He ended up stealing the mist from him, spitting it back in Muta's face, and then hitting with the Kinshasa and pulling out the victory. Now,
We can't glance over the entrance and
I'm
not
not.
talk
I
about.
wasn't glancing over. That shit was
No,
fire.
no, I know you said it was fire. You came out, you look like a, but you did not mention he brought my guy over to play the live
Oh yes,
in front of
you're
fucking
right. I
that
forgot.
like that was Black History right there for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you want to get into the art of wrestling and the professional wrestling and the art of what we saw with Shinsuke and the business of what we saw with Shinsuke. But I just gotta tap in and interrupt one time down to let y'all know that Black History happened and my nigga played
Absolutely.
the greatest rendition of Shinsuke's motherfucking entrance music in front of however many thousands of Japanese fans. You know what I'm saying?
Shinsuke Nakamura is one of the few guys who can go from Japan to America, keep his name, go back, keep his name, keep his music, and he brought our guy out there with the violin with a beautiful rendition of his entrance music. Just go check out the entrance all together. It was a moment. It felt like, for Noah, and seeing Shinsuke back. I'm sure that the Japanese fan base was like super happy to see him. I'm sure he probably sold out because of Shinsuke's appearance there. Um, but yeah, man. All in all, this is unprecedented. Think about it. Like Shinsuke, like I said, he keeps his name. He's a legend. He don't got to change his name when he goes nowhere. He got to keep his music, playing it out there. He comes with this, same all white gear, and then he gets to face Muda the legend Muda, who, think about it, Muda is a legend who has faced guys like Hulk Hogan, Sting, Ric Flair. He's tagged with Sting against the Steiner brothers. This guy had a legacy that goes back to the 80s. Like, this is like
The
talking 40,
70s.
70s maybe.
Yeah.
Like 40 to 50 years this guy's been wrestling in the business. So when you look at it, like this is the end of an era for his career, and to do that with Shinsuke is a huge honor. And Triple H and the WWE allowing Shinsuke to do this, I thought it was special. I think it's definitely a sign of the times in wrestling. And not only that, we saw some other people, such as Carl Anderson perform on New Japan. I do wonder if they were like, yeah, you can have this match, but you got to have the victory. We're not going to have Shinsuke, one of our stars, lose to the Muda. So
No.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that was.
No.
What do you mean no?
It's go ahead. I'll let you finish. That's super cynical, but go ahead.
It's not cynical. I mean, I wondered because he took the victory. I mean, it makes sense. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. It's not cynical at all. Like, I mean, if it's business and like, yeah, you can go out there, but you gotta be taking the victory. You can't have you lose. Because I think when you have certain people leave your company and work other places, you want to keep them strong. And I'm just considering it.
It's just this. Okay, great. I'm so glad that we're here. Shinsuke ain't strong, so either way, Muda can be like, "Hey, I'm going out on my sword. I can lose the match to Shinsuke. Boom." Or Shinsuke can go over there and say, "I'm doing the honors, and I'll lose the match to Muda." Right? We see this with Ric Flair. Right? Right? Ric Flair. It's the retirement match. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shawn has to say, "I love you" before I kick your fucking head off. Like, this is your retirement match. You're not going out on top. That's not.
yeah, it's wrestling. But you think about it, when he came off, he took the mask off, and in New Japan, on Wrestle Kingdom, he won the match. As Kenji calls himself Kenji Muto when he has a mask off. But when he has a mask on, green mask, all that stuff, it's a great Muda. Listen, and he won. And I guess he was a 6-man tag, so he kind of put over like a younger star, got him the pin, but he won. So like I just was considering, all right, he won his last match in Wrestle Kingdom, but the match that weekend with Shinsuke, he lost. So at the end of the day, I could be just reading too much into it, but all in all, praises to the great Muda. Like he had a great career. That's what I want to take from this most, honestly.
I would say this, since we are here and we're on the topic of Shinsuke. Shinsuke was a topic of what I was speaking on Twitter, and kind of brought over to the afternoon joint. You know what I'm saying? Where it started off where Shinsuke, and it's not Phil. This ain't you. You're not the originator of that. So I'm not talking on you. Talking about the situation. Mm-hmm. The origination of the post was like, Shinsuke's being misused, or Shinsuke's misused, right? Or mismanaged, or whatever, whatever that is. So then somebody naturally then retweets, his accolades, right? Royal Rumble winner and a kind of United States champion, tagged, all this in it. And then, the response is, well, championships don't dictate, if you're utilized good or mismanaged or something like that. And I can give you that. But being misused to me is layered, because being misused means you're not even involved in any of those conversations, right? Your name doesn't ring bells like Wale does if you're being misused, right? Because people forget about you. So niggas still waiting on Shinsuke and Roman. Niggas are still waiting on Shinsuke to make a big impact. And I can understand that being a portion of, well, he's been there for so long, he hasn't had that moment. I would say this: the juggernaut of balancing act of Shinsuke, international superstar, into making your own international superstar, which was they've been trying to do since they brought in Shinsuke, right? Since 2017, it's when Shinsuke came to NXT, and then he came up to the main roster, and WrestleMania 34 was his first WrestleMania. That is still the time they're trying to make Roman. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is still the same time AJ Styles is going to be there babyface. Like that is the time where it's just really congested. And I understand like we didn't get the result that we wanted with Shinsuke, but they did give him, like we say, the consolatory prize is like, hey man, I know we shouldn't turn you, but we're gonna turn you. And when we turn you, we're gonna give you the order, and none of this shit clicks for people. None of it, like a lot of people saying that it don't click. But my thing is, he's not obscure.
Yeah,
Shinsuke's not obscure.
he's always been included.
Shinsuke,
Yeah, I think that personally, I get where they're coming from with the Shinsuke conversation, because we have such a love for this guy, and his NXT run was fantastic. He was one of the honestly, he had one of the better runs of the championship runs in NXT during that era. You still remember him and Finn. You remember him and Samoa Joe. You remember those matches, So when it comes to Shinsuke on the main roster, I do think with Triple H in charge now, he can be utilized a lot better because he kind of gets him a little bit more. Like he didn't take his name and change it when he came to NXT. I thought that was huge. The reason why I bring that up is because most Japanese guys, even Finn Balor, Prince Devitt, changed his name when he came to freaking AEW. And so when I see
NXT,
when he came to NXT, excuse me. So when I look at Shinsuke and his trajectory so far, I think that the match with AJ Styles is underrated. Even me, I underrated it at the time. I'm going back and watching it. It was a really good match. I do think that
I get it. It's not Wrestle. I get it. It's not Wrestle Kingdom. I understand.
Yeah. We have really high expectations. And
I think that since we bouncing around, I won't get away from this too much. But you see, Kenny, right? Kenny at Wrestle Kingdom's a different guy. You understand?
I got something to say about Kenny.
He's a different animal. It's a different environment. It's just a different atmosphere. I can I brought it up and like I brought it up in the thing. So Wrestle Kingdom, or I believe that canvas gives the artist an unbelievable creative expression. You know what I'm saying? Like that blank canvas of you can just Mercedes Moné. I won't go fast forward. You can just see the wheel spinning. Kenny Omega's fucking entrance, right? Austin Creed is like, yo, how many times you play Final Fantasy, my nigga? You don't motherfucking get that, bro.
Yo,
like,
okay. Listen,
the intricacy of that is just it's different, man.
It's different.
So Shinsuke and AJ could not do Wrestle Kingdom at WrestleMania. I'm sorry.
Nah, it definitely was a good match. It's a different style in WWE, but let's think about it. Shinsuke, I mean, he's been around for what, 4 or 5 years?
Yes. WrestleMania 34 was 2018. So we got 2019, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Yeah, so he's going into his sixth year. Yeah.
6th year. All right. He has time, I would say. And I think with this Wrestle Kingdom match, with no wrestling, no match with Muta, he'll come back, revitalized. And I think hopefully Triple H can get him some time. But you made a great point that they were still building a lot of people at that time. And, especially with Vince in control of things, I don't think he understood Shinsuke, to the point that, we want to see Shinsuke and John Cena. We got it, but it wasn't quite. It's just kind of like a random match thrown out there. We want to see Shinsuke and Samoa Joe. What's up?
No. But I mean, he beat John.
He did.
I know it wasn't under the circumstances
of
right?
like an angle or anything like that. But
he beat
John. I don't think he's been underutilized. I think that he's been utilized. And when you come to America, I don't think that you're seen at the high, as the main eventer all the time. Like people see him in Japan. I just think it's different.
You're not Naito. It's not Okada. You can't do that over here, bro. I'm sorry. Those guys over there got a strong hold on New Japan to where I'm upset that Jay White couldn't defeat Okada. I need Jay. Like you take the teeth out of Jay White, or you take the teeth out of Will Ospreay because he can't send Kenny on his way. Like, let's get into Japan.
Let's roll into Wrestle Kingdom. That was, this week. Was it yesterday? The day before yesterday on Tuesday?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay, so yesterday morning, Wrestle Kingdom. Where do you want to start? There's a lot to talk about because
so first and foremost,
because we talked about Shinsuke, getting allowed to do this. Also, Carl Anderson was allowed to go and drop the title to Tama Tonga of the
Right,
number
so
one
he went over there
championship.
and it was like, nigga, we don't care if you win or lose, nigga. Just get this shit away from us. Get this shit away from us.
Pretty much, but even the fact that he's allowed to do it, they let him lose the championship because he had to drop it. But it's good. It's cool that they let this guy do it. He's getting paid by them. Like think about that. He's getting paid by WWE and he's getting paid by New Japan, like to be out there and do his thing. I know weeks ago we talked about the possibility of wrestlers being their own company and going from company to company and all that stuff. And I was very not anti, but I don't really see a possibility of that under WWE. But this kind of like occasional thing where like, all right, we're allowing Shinsuke to do Memorial, or we're allowing
Being like a
to
forbidden
drop.
door where everybody's involved.
It will be cool. It will be cool. But I do think that there's some wiggle room now that we can see, if a certain circumstance arises. But these are two special case scenarios. Let's just make it very known that Shinsuke asks to do an honor for the Great Muta. Triple H knows the history of the Great Muta, and the WWE respected that. Let him do it. And Carl Anderson, they wanted to grab the OC back into WWE. They're like, all right, you got a championship. You have a date set. All right, we're gonna let you go out there and wrestle it. Oh, you can't make that date because you're gonna be in friggin' Crown Jewel, Saudi Arabia that day. Oh, sorry. Okay, we're gonna give you the chance at Wrestle Kingdom to do it. Well, let's set that date and go ahead and do that. So there's a lot of controversy with that up to this. It wasn't like they're like, oh, you have a title, just go ahead and do it. No, he was still under contract with WWE, and when they wanted him, they needed him, they got him, and they said, no, you're coming now. And so my point is that WWE still has these guys under contract, and they set the rules. So it's but there is some progression that we've never seen before. That's unprecedented that this has even happened. That certain people would have been on Wrestle Kingdom and WrestleMania in the same calendar year if if Shinsuke and Carl Anderson end up.
Well, okay. Well, I will say this. As pessimistic as we may be about this situation, you are also talking to the guy in Triple H who understands, and right, he has the Vince mentality, but he shakes people and he shakes hands first. You know what I'm saying? Like, he goes to Progress with William Regal and he goes out and buys out the British field, right? He goes and pickpockets Evolve in ROH while they're right. So it's not like this is beneath Triple H, right? He sees where the talent is, but he also knows that it benefits me not to send my niggas to ROH for what? Them niggas about to die. Sinclair don't even want to buy them niggas. Like, why am I sending my niggas over there to over there? I can send the Street Profits to go to Evolve. Right, I can sit like Eddie Kingston wrestled a match with niggas, right, when he was plotting around, right. So Evolve was a situation where we saw, you know what I'm saying, because that was a situation where the tide they were riding the tide at that point, and that was a couple years ago, right. And we go back and we look at when they put them on the WWE Network. We thought that was a big deal because, again, you're letting the independent circuit come and take some of the shine that you built. I bring that to say this. This is a very beneficial mutual conversation right now if and whenever WWE and New Japan wants to work together, right? We're already seeing it right now with AAA, right? AAA is in a situation where like, hey, AEW, we think you fine and everything like that, but can't nobody win a championship? Can't nobody come and compete unless it's Kenny? Because again, Kenny's a guy that's above any and every all types of stature. But you got AAA with a situation where they're like, hey, we want to exert power over here because WWE has power that we haven't tapped into. Right, New Japan, they've worked with WCW before. Yep. They've worked with AEW before. They know there's a U.S. market that they can tap into, and who's the biggest dog on the U.S. circuit. It makes sense for these open doors to now have some level of fluidity in conversation. Right, there's just not optimism and fan fiction right now, and I think right now it's big when you talk about Carl Anderson being on a contract. All of that is still, I believe, obsolete in regards to we let him on the show. We let him on the show. We let him get streamed. We let him right. We allowed that, and also, let's go ahead right into it, man. When the CEO of Monet came out, Mercedes Monet, they were not shy in her accolades, right? They let it be known she's WWE royalty. You understand? Like she's won every championship there is to win, and she's now over here. That makes that whatever a big deal.
Yeah, man.
So I mean, I could just imagine. Again, this is fan fiction. Just imagine they do it. Just imagine they do a Japanese tour. It's not in coincidence with New Japan or nothing like that, but they just go over to Japan and let's just say, hey, for promo's sake, let's have Roman and Okada just face off.
I mean, that would be epic.
Not for nothing, not for nothing scheduled. Just have them be taking pictures of in the same room together, my nigga. Like that is what we're talking about right now. That has the opportunity to be done. Like so,
yeah, if they're cool with what they did with Carl Anderson, it's like, all right, you owe us one. Let's get somebody over here, come over to our Japan show. But you get it. Like New Japan understands the market in America and the craving they have of tapping into this market. There's a lot of New Japan fans here, and clearly, obviously, Mercedes Moné will be competing with Kairi in San Jose, not in Japan. She don't even got to leave the States to get that bag. Think about it. She will be in San Jose, California, a battle at the in the hill. What the fuck it's called?
Battle or some shit like that.
Yeah, but she will be, wrestling with New Japan in America. They understand the market. They have a scheduled tour out here in February, and that's where we will see Mercedes Moné and Kairi take place. Now, let's take a moment to just appreciate the entrance again. Mercedes Moné. We all heard about it. We all heard about the rumors. They mentioned her, her accolades and all that, but she looked phenomenal as she always does. The wig was fire, no pun intended. But she just has that presence of a superstar, of a star. Now this Kairi Sane and what was the woman's name?
You're talking about the IWGP Women's Championship.
Women's Championship. It was a good match. Kairi Sane and Tam Nakano. Yeah, good match. Honestly, they worked real stiff. I liked it. But
and until Kairi needed to take that DDT, nigga, come on, man. You can't let Mercedes come and not get the move off.
Yeah, that move was a little choppy.
What you do, my nigga, and then when Mercedes come in.
But this is the first time women have wrestled on Wrestle Kingdom since 1994. This match, that's kind of crazy in a singles match. So, shout out to New Japan for getting women back on.
Why? Because that Mercedes says she's coming to the Tokyo Dome. You dig? I'm not just coming to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm not bringing my cachet and my name power value to just New Japan. No. I'm coming to the world famous, world renowned Tokyo Dome, and I got to come there for something. Okay?
Do you think there was any possibility that they would have had this match on Wrestle Kingdom without her coming?
Absolutely not, because you just said what woman star commanded
Kairi. Kairi had her moment here in America, and she's had a great year in Japan over the past year. There, she's had low key. People don't talk about it, but she's been champion for a reason, And I think even her style of wrestling that match was very much influenced with her style of WWE. I think she's learned a lot and brought it back. Her animated way of wrestling and getting the crowd involved, I thought was dope, which is funny because this is the first time we're seeing fans at Wrestle Kingdom in a while. 2 years. Getting 2 years,
it was at half capacity the past 2 years.
Yeah, so this is the most relevant New Japan has been in 2 years. That's why we're talking about it. And this is the moment where Mercedes Moné comes. I just don't like overshadowing Kairi's influence. That's all. And I get it. Mercedes Moné
is. But listen, let's make no mistake about it. Your stat of the day right now since 1990, what, 5? You said, or 4? Come on, man. Let's do the math on that. Let's do the math on that, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's plenty of people that we talk about that make their New Japan interests. Now, which woman we talk about? Which debut of a woman we talk about? Like name them all, and tell me why that Wrestle Kingdom 17, right? This is the 17th Wrestle Kingdom. It's almost like akin to WrestleMania. How can you tell me this is the only time that women, right? We talk about the triple threat of Sasha, Charlotte, Becky. We was like, man, how is that the only time we got a fire ass match like this? And they didn't have women wrestling all types of bikini brawl battle royals and multiple women matches and shit like that. They give them the time when the time is prevalent, right? Yeah. So I can't knock him. I hear you. Let's not overshadow Kyrie, but let's overshadow Kyrie, my nigga, because listen, the Battle of the Valley. You tell me this: Mercedes losing that match? Yes or no?
She's losing. No, I'm joking. She's not.
Oh,
losing.
okay.
Not losing.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Maybe you're right. There's something to, hey, with these women on Wrestle Kingdom, and let's have them debut Mercedes Moné at Wrestle Kingdom, and that's the only reason why women got a match. But at the end of the day, Kyrie is an incredible Japanese woman wrestler, who deserves the spot regardless of Mercedes Moné showing up.
That's my thing. I understand that, and Stardom has done their part in highlighting and putting Kyrie in a position to succeed, and also putting her in a situation where it's a can't deny situation where they can't lose while putting on this match. But I will say this: Kyrie being okay, we'll take it to AEW, right? Let's take it over to, and then we'll bounce back to women wrestling. Don't always get what they deserve, right? We look at Hikaru Shida, right? She is overlooked.
Okay, she was the first women's champion,
bro. You want to talk about Kairi Sane putting on for a company and putting on for women's wrestling, like during the pandemic, that nigga Hikaru Shida held that bitch on with a thread and needle, my nigga. Like she kept that afloat. We don't give a fuck. We don't care. We don't care. Where's Athena? Where's Britt Baker? Where's Jade? Where's Ruby Soho? Where's Chris Statlander? Where is thems? We don't look at a, and I want to tell you right now, I love you, Kairi Sane. But once Mercedes Moné steps in any arena, ring, facility, place of business that you're in, she's the star. She's
absolutely. I think we know. I think that's our perspective. And I think New Japan.
It's gonna be New Japan's perspective too.
I think that's but I'm more props to Mercedes doing her thing and taking the chance and betting on herself and going out there and doing her thing out there. I think this is gonna be another additional legacy to her career, her long star-studded career. She's done everything in WWE, so this is going to be another chapter of her, adding on to that, already star-studded legacy that she has. So one of the greatest of all time to do it, Sasha Banks, where you call Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné, is going to be a fire match, no matter where she's at. And I think I'm looking forward to this match with Kyrie, because Kyrie at least when I watched the match, reminded me how good she was. So shout out to these women, and I can't wait to see them at the Valley, not the Hill.
It's not the Hill. It's not the Bay either. Oh man!
Yes.
So
somewhere.
So with that, and let me back away from the mic because that was a problem last time I recorded. With that, New Japan, right? Like I said, right? It was January 4th. There was no way that I was going to be able to talk about wrestling, anything in wrestling, and not talk about Mercedes Moné making her debut, because when we talk about needle movers, right? I mean, listen, I looked at, I was there for I was there for Alpha and Omega, Chris Jericho. You know what I'm saying? Versus Kenny Omega. I was up. I was up. I took an ad. I'm about to pull in. I'm about to tap in cousin Rich right now, nigga. And I was up watching that drink. Go back to Kota Ibushi. You know what I'm saying? Perform like we seek out these moments because those are needle movers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And Mercedes Monet is a needle mover, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
She's a needle mover, bro. So one time down, we want to say congratulations to her stepping out on her intuition, her faith, her her just sheer belief in herself. You know what I'm saying? And listen, black women, I know I'm married to one, and my sisters, my mom, everybody that I'm surrounded by is a strong black woman. But we also see them take a step back sometimes, right? We see them sometimes in an inferiority situation because they put others before them. And we saw Mercedes do that for a while, right? She's talking about it, the mental gymnastics that went through her because she was Sasha for so long. When she took the wig off, she took the makeup off, when she didn't know how to talk, she didn't know how to be, she didn't know how to present. To own yourself and be able to do what it is that you want to do for you as a black woman in your own skin and by your own volition, by your own direction. Come on,
I
man.
mean, they didn't call her the boss or
Come
the
on.
CEO for no
Come
reason.
on, come on.
So
You know what I'm
I think
saying?
that she manifested her way out, and she manifested what she's doing right now. And I'm glad she's out there doing what she loves to do, and she's happy doing it because this is a whole new journey for her, and she's gonna succeed no matter where she goes, whether it's Hollywood, whether it's fitness magazines, whether it's wrestling in
CBD, you
Japan,
know.
CBD, whatever it may be. So
And
shout out to Mercedes.
one
We
time down, I gotta shout out before we move on to greener pastures of
no pun intended.
New Japan. Shout out to the revival. You know what I'm saying?
I was
As we're
just about
talking
to say that.
as we're
Just
talking
about to say.
about as we're talking about Mercedes living out their dream and doing things that they want to do and on their own volition. And you know what I'm saying? Like the revival said that 10 years ago when they met as best friends, me and you, we can kind of resemble that shit. It was like, this is what we want to do. And to be able to fucking stand on your own and go do it. And again, I want to go to the Tokyo Dome. I'm a country ass boy. I ain't never known of Japan until I got into this wrestling shit and saw Stan Hansen and saw that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so them niggas looking and idolizing idolizing wrestling and knowing that tag team excellence is something that they achieved, and they wanted to go ahead and travel the world. And they said one of the stops is going to be at the Tokyo Dome. One of the stops is going to be at Wrestle Kingdom. One of the stops is going to be with the IWGP World Tag Heavyweight, not the juniors.
Heavyweight, yeah.
Not the juniors. We some big boys, nigga.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Another good match of the night. Another great match. Putting over Goto and Homeboy. There was a Goto and Homeboy killed it along with FTR. So
go to one of the boys.
Listen, man, I got my hard time with the names, but honestly, they're epic every time they're out there, so they know how to put together a match. They dropped the titles, so they're no longer
titleless.
Yeah, titleless. But yes, listen, they're one of the best tag teams in the world. We all know that, and they remind me of come on, the revival. They manifested their own reality of what they stood on, the traditional wrestling and tag team wrestling, and whether it's Rock and Roll Express wrestling them, wrestling the Young Bucks. They bring that authentic old school way and style, and whether wrestling in New Japan, they do the same thing. So the match was dope. Even the juniors tag team match was good too. Leo Rush and them didn't pull out the victory, but he got busted open the hard way on that match. So that was interesting. But shout out to the FTR for doing their thing. I mean, you talked about them leaving AEW. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen, but we'll see. But speaking of being busted open the hard way, I think we gotta move over to the best match of the night. at New Japan.
And wait, before we get into the best match of the night, let's go ahead and bust. Since you said busted open. Busted Open Radio. Shout out to Dave LaGreca. Shout out to Mark Henry. Shout out to I'm Blocked by Billy Ray. Let's bring in our third wheel. Ray. Cousin Rich.
Because I've been sitting over here shaking my head the entire time. All of that needed to be paused all the way.
I don't know how Dave LaGreca follows me, yo, but that nigga Billy Ray said nope.
Dude, what do you be doing to get blocked by people? Like it's not even regular people.
You know, he be talking shit on Twitter. Like I said, he got blocked by Matt Cardona too.
Yo. Okay, so Matt Cardona, I get. Ashanti was trending one day, and I went to go like retweet, and I'm like, block what I do. I can't.
Who?
Ashanti, nigga.
Ashanti blocked you?
Yeah.
How you get blocked by Ashanti?
Damn, son, that's crazy.
Probably was thirsting too hard.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Yeah,
so
you know what?
My head with those thighs like a grape, maybe, or some shit like that.
One of the low key controversies of 2022 was Teddy Long blocking everybody that time. Randomly just blocking everybody. That was hilarious. Yeah, listen, man.
My nigga Teddy had his like, listen, I don't know what the fuck going on. I don't even be on this motherfucker.
Right. I'm like, just you ain't my friend. All about it.
You're like, what, Teddy? I love you. What
I do? Man. So as you was getting ready to talk about the best match of the night, can you tell me what is the best match of the night? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna not disagree, but we're
best
gonna
match of the year. Let's put it that way. Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay. Listen, man, I know it's only been freaking 4 days in the year, but this match was fire. Flame, you go back and watch it if you haven't. I think it told one of the greatest stories that I've seen this year. The best story being told this year, but honestly, what I expected from these two guys. I thought that it was better than what I expected. I thought it was gonna be more about the transitions, the flips, the dives, all that. It looked like Kenny Omega came in there to prove a point, and Will Ospreay couldn't overcome Kenny Omega. It's always been these guys being compared to each other, and Kenny Omega's constantly like little broing Will Ospreay. And this match was back for a contest until Will Ospreay got busted open the hard way. I know it's a pause to say busted open, but that's how they say it in wrestling. Shit, I can't help it. He got busted open the hard way by getting his head knocked into the top turnbuckle. And from that point on, it looked like the match took it to like another gear of a sense, or Kenny was like extremely brutal. Like every single thing he did from that point forward, he took on to like another an active force of like, let me destroy him even further. To the point where he took his head and threw it through a table head first, smashed it through a table, hitting multiple V triggers consistently, and the selling of Will Ospreay to sell that he was in, dire needs of help, and he came off as like this, baby face essentially, which I never saw him as until this match. It was like things kind of turned when he got busted open, and he was fighting. It was an uphill battle, and he couldn't overcome Kenny. It was Kenny's onslaught, and Kenny ended up taking the United States Championship from him in a victory. But all in all, beat for beat, these two are two of the most athletic specimens in the ring, and there's certain things they can do in this ring that nobody can do in the way they do it and the explosiveness they do it with. I think is extremely fascinating. So shout out to Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, best match of the night, best match of the year, you want to say. But you guys started off the year 2023 the right way. And Kenny Omega hasn't had a singles match. Well, he had one on Dark in December, which was like a flyover match. But since Hangman Page, since he dropped it to Hangman Page in November 13th, 2022, he hasn't had a big time singles match since then. To see him come back and perform like this, and I know you said WrestleMania Kingdom was a different atmosphere, but he hasn't had a singles match since, he dropped the title, AEW Championship. That's incredible. Like, he killed it.
I would just say, I can't understand the hyperbole because it's the best match of the year. I would presumably say, right? We're in the fifth day of the year. You know what I'm saying? It's not really too much wrestling that has been, opposed to
It's
that
just funny to
match.
say. It's just like people just
Yeah,
talking.
I mean, but nah,
Yeah.
niggas is really going to hold because niggas held me to that when Pac. I guess Pac and Kenny had a match on Dynamite that was one of the best matches early in the beginning of the year. And people at the you have to go back to February 23rd. I'm like, nigga, if you don't find me another match in the last 6
Yo,
months,
but here, think about it though. If
I feel you.
recency bias is a thing, we've talked about it on our podcast. So if you have recency bias and you're like, listen, let's not discount something because it's not firmly in our memory by the end of the year, this is just a check mark. Hey, remember this match later on when we're talking about best match of the year.
Which is understood. Now, I do want to say this: Kenny and Will possibly had the best match of the night. But I would say I am disappointed in this. Okay, and people will criticize people like me because I'm not watching New Japan all the time for me to give my kind of educated opinion on it. But for me, I was intrigued by Jay White when he won the championship. I thought that Jay White was going to be a cornerstone of New Japan, and he was going to be a catalyst, like he said he was, to bringing New Japan AEW. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what transpired, but that nigga fell off the face of the fucking earth, my nigga. Ever since I got behind that nigga, he was like, "Oh, let me cool off." This nigga behind me.
Listen, Jay White is good. He's a good talker. He's a good talker. He's a good wrestler, even too. But Jay White ain't spectacular the way that people want to like make it seem. He's not Okada on Kenny level. He's not on that level to me. He's like right below it. He's not.
Now I would say, okay, so this is how. Okay, so and this is why people say I will get in trouble for this because I don't know how Okada tells stories. Okay, so I will eliminate him from the storytelling aspect of that, but I will say that probably he is the second best out of the four wrestlers that we're talking about. Because I want to bring an Ospreay into this as well. Okay. Kenny, Ospreay, Okada, Jay White, right? And I'm looking at this and I'll tie this all together. We talk about Kenny's best match of the night, and we talk about storytelling. Will Ospreay and Jay White are on the same trajectory to me for New Japan, where their burning star is what is bringing me to the dance, not the old guard. You dig?
Right. So for you want to see Jay White.
So when it's Okada and Kenny, we seen that. 2016, 17, 18, 19, nigga. We've seen them be the reason why we go to New Japan. New Japan finally did the thing. They finally gave us some new talent to follow and to like and to and understand their story. As Will Ospreay, you want to talk about Kairi Sane? Let's not disrespect the run of Kairi Sane and her IWGP Women's Championship and Stardom and everything. Go back and tell me a bad match Will Ospreay has had with that United States Championship, and tell me why the fuck we haven't seen more of the U.S. title in New Japan in U.S. Like if we're, and I'm not going to say he hasn't. I'm not going to say he's not been here. I am.
I know that, and I know. I just know where you're going with this. I feel you on that. Jay White and Will Ospreay are the future. Put it that way. But think about New Japan
They're the
as
now.
a company.
They're the
Okay.
now.
Think about it. They're the future. This is why they're the now too. Give me a second.
Okay.
Tanahashi, for instance, this is the first Wrestle Kingdom ever like he's had where he didn't have a singles match. He has bad knees. He's been the man on top for like decades. It's not the same culture, you know. And when you got a guy like Okada who had took forever for him to take that spot as, listen, I'm the man here. It took forever for him to get that spot. But when you are the man for a good long time in New Japan. It's just a little bit different. It's like when you are the man, you have like 15-year run where you can just have the championship anytime you want. It's just how they do it, man. Especially it being New Japan, they do have an honor system of like, listen, we're representing Japanese wrestlers there. I think Jay White needed to tell better stories as the heel. Forget people here in America more interested. Maybe we weren't as tapped in, but I do think that only has a time frame on it as a heel. You know, you do want to get back to the original guard of having the baby face on top at some point, and they like to do that in New Japan. Even Kenny, you know, he had his runs where he had to fight and claw to beat Okada. It wasn't like he just, you know, beat him for the championship, and he was one of the best they had, and they knew it. You know, they do things a little bit different down there,
which I can understand, but the story of what you're telling me, I can get that. But can we string it out just I mean, you can't tell me the Bullet Club was a heel, and I get the Bullet Club is different with the iterations of what they were, but New Japan has conceded themselves to American Western civilization of wrestling, right? Mm-hmm. Or Americanized wrestling, where Jay White in the storytelling of Okada has Okada's number, right? I think he's 4-2 against Okada.
Yeah, I think something like that.
For like bro, like you 4-2 over Cena. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, like that guy is a guy. He's a player.
And then he got washed. He got washed. I mean, this match, you were 4-2, and then he looked outmatched. At least that's what I've heard, because I didn't get to watch the full thing.
Yeah.
Apparently, he looked outmatched in the match against Okada. Okada kind of dominated, and he got the title back. You know, I think New Japan is more in a way of, you know, I don't think they tell stories the same way. I think it's more about the competition over there.
That's true.
So now we have 4-2, or is it 4-2 now?
I think it's 4-2 now, but and I'm sorry not to kind of hang up on the Jay White situation, because I want to tie it into Will Ospreay. You give the title back to Kenny for him to do what? Now, is this going to be the bridge that we thought Jay White is now Kenny the real catalyst?
I didn't expect that.
The door, because like at the same time, why is Kenny a necessity here when Will has been really the guy, right? Will has been the guy. He's put on great matches. He held that championship. Outside of Moxley, who's had a better run with that title?
With the AEW championship? Or the United States?
With the United States, because that's what Kenny just beat Will for the title. So it does.
In recent memory, I don't know, because and mind you, I really wish I could have somebody from Japan on the pod, because I'm really curious about like what's their outlook on New Japan as far as who's the guy, who do you come to see, who do you pay to see, and I can't go against them being entertained by Kenny Omega or Okada and them saying, all right, it's time to change things up a little bit. And if Kenny's willing to go wrestle in Japan while he's not in the AEW championship space, and hopefully he doesn't win that Escalera de la Muerte match. Hopefully they lose, because I don't want the Elite to be the champions. So it gives him, you know, a championship to go out there and defend and fight with. And I like the fact that it extends the Will Ospreay storyline with him. Like, he's been sunning him this whole time. They had a competitive match. He busted him open and then destroyed him and took his title.
But how many? But how many? The Elite just beat Aussie Open. Remember, they just had the banger, right? We talk about, right? Kenny comes back. That's Kenny's comeback match.
But when Will Ospreay comes back and when Will Ospreay finally beats Kenny Omega, do you think it matters more now after everything he's gone through?
I think it mattered that Wrestle King, bro. If it don't have, like, that's what I'm saying. I gotta wait a whole nother fucking year because it don't. That's what I'm saying. It's New Japan, nigga. Where else the fuck is gonna happen?
Dominion, any other, like, you know?
No, get that shit out of here. You telling me? Hold on. You telling me?
Why does Wrestle Kingdom the time it happens matter more than the actual match?
You talk about WrestleMania and SummerSlam, dog. Like, what are you talking about?
Listen, man, you cannot discount freaking Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle SummerSlam match because it didn't happen at WrestleMania. They had one at WrestMania 2, but it was different result.
Hold on. Let's stay right there. Compare the matches.
They're both great matches.
No. Compare. Come on, Chidi. We here now. This is the podcast. Compare the match. You got the SummerSlam match when you know, and you got the WrestleMania match that you know. You got the scene, the pageantry, the audience, the shooting star press. You got it all. And you tell me a WrestleMania match is just bigger than SummerSlam.
All right. I guess we got it. I guess
Wrestle Kingdom is bigger than Dominion.
I think so too. I get it, but hey, listen, if it's a match where even if they have it on Forbidden Door next year, it matters, it matters more. It matters more. Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, next time they face each other, has a deeper story to it, regardless of where it is. To me, you don't got to wait that long if it's Forbidden Door.
Okay, so I will say this. And I won't stay here because that part isn't necessarily relevant. I will say this. Will Ospreay, you can't tell me Wardlow looks like a bitch last week. And I'm like, all the nigga did, he got his ass beat. He was hurt. A nigga beat him with a pipe. And then he blindsided with a belt, and then you're like, oh, because he cut his ponytail, he's a bitch. This nigga Will Ospreay cried in front of this nigga Kenny Omega face and said, I'm gonna beat you. My life depends on it, and I will be remain. And Kenny beat the fuck out of him and put his head through a fucking table, nigga. And you can't come back and tell me that they had match tonight. He ain't no pussy after that, nigga.
Nah,
he needs to win that fucking match.
Nah, you gotta watch the match. Listen, Rich, go watch the match. Nigga. Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, and you tell me what you think. Tell me if Will Ospreay was a bitch in that match because he was fighting back. He was fighting back the entire way. It's just that it told a story. That was part of the story. And I think that makes Will Ospreay the babyface in this scenario when he's been the heel the entire time. It felt to me like a double turn. It felt like, damn, you felt like by the end of the match, you wanted Will Ospreay to win and retain his championship, but he wasn't able to pull it off.
Yeah, I did. And it wasn't because he was a babyface, just because it's the right thing to do. Like Kenny coming. No, Kenny, Deadass, you just said you don't want him winning the Triple, and we can just roll right into AEW, right? AEW was yesterday. We record on Thursday. Y'all know what it is. Hey, so next week, because Kenny was in Japan, as you know, this is what I'm saying. Kenny's been testing his body, right? Kenny's been, shout out to Pac and Lucha Bros. They've had 6 outstanding matches to where Kenny has tested his limits, right? Kenny is street fights and Falls Count Anywheres and backstage brawls.
And then he goes to, Wrestle Kingdom and goes Super Saiyan. Like,
you know what I'm saying? So, like, he's been in the battlefield, per se, right? So it isn't like, you know what I mean? But my thing is this. Kenny and the Bucks coming back from suspension and coming back from injury, we thought that them having the titles when he came back from injury wasn't a good call. You know what I'm saying? At the time, because Adam Cole and him was hurt and everything like that wasn't really feasible. But still, right? We didn't want them winning the title. And that same sentiment goes to what I'm talking about with New Japan. Is just like, hey, he's not going to be an intricate part here. He's not going to be a continuous portion of why I tune in, because he's not a reason why I tune in on AEW. You know, no disrespect.
That's crazy, man. It is disrespect because Kenny is elite. Like, he's that good. Like, he's like, I don't get like how, like, you take some of these like really talented people and you just discard that they're great at what they do. And it's like Kenny, and I guess he's not your favorite. You know, it's not. You know, but I think you say, "Oh yeah, you're good," but I don't want you to win, and I don't want to see you. Like that's like saying,
no. He's good. He's good. Okay. Seth Rollins is Kenny Omega in WWE. Does Seth Rollins need to be Austin Theory? No. And that's the same sentiment of listen, you can be the best, you are the best. I'm not taking that away from, but I don't also tune in to see. I don't want Seth on TV right now. Give me Cody back. I'm waiting for Cody. I want to see what Austin Theory does with this heel run.
Okay, and you're entitled to that.
You know what I'm saying?
And
I know that Kenny and Seth are going to put on great matches. But I also know that Austin Theory, I've seen him evolve. I'm seeing him now on the main roster. I've seen him on NXT. He's fought through all of the shit to be where he is right now. I've seen Will Ospreay
this week. Yeah.
I've seen Will Ospreay. Same thing. Go through all the shit, all the meme wrestling. Him and Ricochet, right? That's how I got my introduction into Will Ospreay. That fucking GIF of them niggas doing they sequence backflips, take the hood off type shit. We like, oh, these niggas are superheroes, nigga. I'll go through the journey of Will Ospreay and know that he went into to be the aerial assassin and not like he's that fucking good. Give him his due.
I was just gonna say,
Kenny win that.
I hate to interrupt, but since I don't know a whole lot about New Japan, but just from what I've been listening, is that like what he's saying almost sounds like what CT, like what you would say about like a Hangman Page. It's like, yo, with AEW, you know, of course, yeah, the face was Cody and the Elite and Kenny Omega, and it was like, yo, these guys don't need the title, they don't need the rub that they're getting, but they should be there to give the rub to the younger guys who might not be as notorious as your Kenny Omega. And, you know, just going to the analogy he was using with Austin Theory, I mean, I think those of us that are seasoned in watching wrestling, we all knew going in, like, Austin Theory wasn't losing that match. And Seth, he did exactly what he was supposed to do going into that match by, one, telling the story, two, putting Theory all the way over, because he made that nigga look like a rock star.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you bring a Jericho in. That's what you bring a Kenny Omega in. But this also goes to a previous convo we had when we were just talking about FTR and him wanting the guys to come back and hug it all out. And me and Chris said, yo, like, you dealing with ego. We talking about Kenny Omega. We talking about CM Punk. With everything that's going on in AEW and the cachet and everything, the liberties he's been given, is like, all right, well, you know what? Since I'm sat down over here, let me go ahead over here, because they're going to give me the shine that I want because I am him. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you're dealing with. So just from listening to everything, I'm able to at least put one and one together and say, yo, he ran over there just because, oh no, I'm gonna get exactly the shine that I've been wanting. They gonna stroke my ego.
Because it worked. Niggas is talking about, man, Kenny's up there, best wrestler in the world, top 10.
He's on a redemption tour right now. That's what it feels like.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all must have forgot. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you see, and I fucking get it. I get it. Like, you know, you want to see New Japan put some new blood in there. You want to see New Japan have, you know, Will Ospreay, United States champion, Jay White champion going into 2023. They just got fans back, you know, at Wrestle Kingdom. I think that's partly why Okada might have won that match. I don't know the business side of it over there.
Then you got Okada and Kenny tagging next night.
Next night.
New Year's Dash.
New Year's Dash against Jeff Cobb. I believe that that's part of the reason why these guys won and why these guys are going to continue to grow and go into the year for business purposes to see Kenny back here. Oh my God, we got Okada champion. Sell some tickets, boom, boom, boom. Rather than going into the new year with the same champions again, like because Jay White and Will Ospreay are gonna get more championship runs. They're gonna get more time. They're gonna get more.
I mean, let's talk about it. Will Ospreay is a free agent, same year as MJF. So this is he's at
2024. Listen, Will Ospreay, if Will Ospreay comes to
WWE, I said it.
It's gonna be fucking crazy. Nigga. I think NXT is perfect for him. I think he would steal the show.
I think
not to the main roster. Don't know, not straight to the main roster. Please put him in NXT. They need him there. We just talked about Shinsuke and they put him on the main roster. Oh, people are like, oh, you're underutilizing him. Listen, let Will Ospreay get his burn in NXT. Make that a must-see show because I think he will. Along with a couple people that
Have my nigga just live in Orlando for a little
Dragon
bit.
Lee
get
over there. You
acclimated,
got
my
Wesley
nigga,
over
you know
there.
what I'm saying?
Yo, you got people that he could work with. Crazy matches. Carmelo. I mean, I'm not sure. Carmelo might be gone by then, but definitely be gone by then. Braun Breaker. I'm not sure if he'll be
2024,
there.
he need to be making some real money. You know what I'm saying? Some real money.
Yeah. So they're bringing in and
I mean, Dragon Lee would be there. So Will Ospreay and Dragon Lee, Will Ospreay and Wesley.
What Dragon Lee, Wesley just mentioned, that's going to be incredible. So I think that's where he should go. So next year, I think I would like to see him win the New Japan World Heavyweight Championship, like NJPW Championship. Will Ospreay, Okada. Sometimes
he won it already. We can't disregard, right? He was heavyweight champion, right? Will Ospreay was heavyweight champion. He was United States champion. He was Intercontinental champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Will Ospreay has had accolades, but as we talk about this ushering in the now, right? And I know we're bouncing around, but that's just what it is. Moxley and Page have had some very intense promos and matches and like moments. This has to be one of those cases where Moxley puts over Hangman, right? Like, right? Right? We talk about people who have egos and like Moxley's just like, hey, I'm gonna beat the shit out you, and if you survive, then the end of the match goes the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like you pit me, but like I am going to. But at the same time, is this a situation where Moxley goes to prove out that Hangman isn't the guy because he's too fragile? Right. So like I don't know where the psychology of one fits when this is dog eat dog world and Moxley thinks he is the baddest motherfucker in the world. You know what I'm saying?
I think you just laid it out. I think that is the psychology of it, and that's why it makes the match interesting. There's some real storytelling that's been done for these two guys, and it blends with reality because he really did get knocked out in that match. Like that wasn't like a worked shoot, a knockout. He is at risk, just like we saw, these things that can happen. Yeah, exactly. But supposed to mention, like these people are at risk for serious concussions, and you got to take that seriously. So then to bring him back, get him cleared to wrestle again, and to do it in the way they've been doing it in AEW, I got to give them a lot of props because you're weaving in the storyline to make it very interesting in a main event angle without a championship. So with Moxley, when it comes down to Moxley and Hangman next week, I'm definitely tuning in. I got to see who wins this match. There's no title on the line. You guys told a great story, and I do believe Hangman will pull it out because he does need a heat back up. Since he lost the title, he's just been taking L after L after L, and obviously he was supposed to probably beat Moxley that match, but he ended up knocking him out. Moxley, being the G he is, uses that to just bolster his cachet and just talk shit about knocking the guy out clean. And I think that they have added intrigue to the fight by playing into that factor. And, even Hangman's promo this week saying, you thought that I was coming out to get revenge. I wasn't doing that until you made a joke about it. You're playing with my life and shit like that. Like it speaks some real shit. So I believe it's going to be a good match. It's going to be dope to see that. It should be a main event, right?
It should be.
It should be.
I mean, there isn't a match that can follow. To me, again, this is just me as my personal opinion. There isn't a match that could and should follow. That. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I'm reading something that. Okay, it's a joke. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. I got it. One of the sites with a check mark got me, and it might have been one of the niggas that paid for it. So I just
Oh, what did it say?
it said Brian Alvarez reported earlier that Jungle Boy hired personal security because he's legitimately afraid of Lee Moriarty and Big Bill. But then I saw Stokely Hathaway tweeted it. So the nigga got me, brother. He got
That's
me.
funny as hell. Yeah, that's funny.
Funny as hell.
Oh man.
But yeah, the John Moxley and Hangman Page should be the main event. I know we got the Escalara de la Muerte match, the ladder match between Death Triangle and the Elite. That should be banger. So let's give it up to AEW, man. They've ended the year hot and they started the year hot. They're back. They don't need no CM Punk clearly, and I feel like they have been on it. Like even this week, multiple angles I cared about. Ricky Starks beat Chris Jericho.
I cared until they jumped my nigga.
I mean, that was gonna happen.
Nah, but why you gotta get your heat back if you don't need to suck the juice away? Pause. If you don't need to take the life out of Ricky Starks' stardom, then
I mean, his stardom's fine. I mean, he can't beat Chris Jericho. I'm like, all right, I'm done with this guy. Like right now, there's nothing. Who else is he gonna go face? There's angles going on with everybody. Every big star has something going on. So right now he's doing his Jericho Society angle. Eventually he'll get his final victory, but getting that one victory was cool. Ricky Starks get to move on. He gets jumped because he's a baby face and he gets to get his revenge. Down the line. We'll see how develops.
But my thing is it is a waste of Ricky. Right?
It's not a waste, bro. There's nothing else he's gonna be able to do without this.
But don't put him with Jericho, my nigga. It's a fucking waste. I can say that. Like, just because the nigga shut off the fucking dad bod, nigga, it's still a fucking waste of 3 months. It's a waste. The nigga gotta waste Daddy Mac and gotta wrestle fucking Jake Hager and gotta wrestle fucking Daniel Garcia.
Listen, it's still Chris Jericho. We can't. At the end of it, it's still Chris Jericho. Are we interested like in Chris Jericho like we used to be? No. At one point, I feel like in the 90s, he was like my favorite wrestler.
Chris Jericho like it's Tom Brady, nigga. We ain't scared of that nigga no more. It's been 20 years.
What I'm trying to say is it's relevancy and it's television. It's television time. You put somebody against Chris Jericho, it's television time. We'll see where it develops.
Nigga, Tom Brady relevancy is good, nigga. They put Carolina on my TV because he played them, nigga. Yes, I know. Chris Jericho and Tom Brady are equal in relevancy, but them niggas is old, okay?
They are.
I would rather watch. Listen, I'm just saying. I know it's a filler, but you sound like me. When I be saying it's a filler, you be like, nah, nigga, it's better shit to do with him. And I'm sounding like you, nigga.
I usually have a plan though when I say that, like you go here, with it. But at the end of the day, like, come on, the Jericho Appreciation Society has been a faction that has been, relevant for AEW for the better part of last year. I think this is just a step up for Ricky Starks as his babyface run continues to develop and continues to, obviously he's not going to go after MJF right away again, so he's a babyface. So we'll see where things go. Obviously, you already got the Will Hobbs. Maybe he'll go after Darby or Samoa Joe or something later down the line. Right now, it's a good space for Ricky to be in because I think the comedy and the mic work is going to be enough for me. Not necessarily that's the best place for him to be. No, I'm not saying, but I think that they'll figure something out.
I would like Ricky to be off. I mean, if it's gonna be a filler, AEW gives me enough fillers. You dig? Like,
I mean, right now, a filler to somebody is not a filler to somebody else. Somebody might still like they might be really into this shit, but like you got a lot of things you can. My point is,
let me ask you this: do y'all see the strap on Rick?
No, not right now. No,
in general. It ain't got to be right now. Do y'all see him with the main strap?
Yeah. I said.
So with that, are you guys confident enough in the writing over there that they'll be able to write sufficient story for him that means something?
I think so. I think so. Absolutely. I think that they did it with Will Hobbs and him. They did it with him and MJF. He won the
They're not doing
tournament.
it right now.
They're not doing it right now, but I do think that the mic work that he had with Chris Jericho was good. Like the shit that they were doing.
I am not arguing against that, brother. I understand that, but it still is not the best utilization. When Ricky came out and said that he lost by nefarious means and that he's going to get back at MJF, that should be his fucking goal. That should be his, and he don't need to be back right now. Like I understand that, but what I'm telling you is that after Jericho says it, he says, "Yes, Jericho, I'm going to give you the moment. I'm going to give you, and I beat you." That's a good. Again, we're talking about a star in Jericho helping a younger star in Ricky Starks. You get the win first match, and then Ricky Starks say, "I'm done with this shit," and then maybe he takes a couple weeks off. I'm happy with that.
Listen, that's not happening. We all get it. But you want to see as little bit of Chris Jericho as possible on your screen.
No, listen, Chris Jericho has done this with everybody, bro. He's done it with Eddie Kingston. He did it with Santana Ortiz. He's done it with MJF. He's done it with fucking Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson. He did it with Claudio Castagnoli. Like, yes, man, we're seeing a lot of Chris Jericho, bro, and it's the same fucking story. I'm sorry. Like, I get to fucking say that when I come back and say,
no, you do. You do.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying that
all of this is the reason why I asked what I asked. I'm like, yo, are you confident enough that they'll write something that's going to keep you intrigued to Ricky? Because if they squandering,
they're just writing something to keep him around because Ricky's right now they want to test. They want to test and see if Ricky is a ratings draw. If he can move numbers, if he can make us come watch him do whatever.
Right. He was on the
big indication of if you're a star, because if you can do whatever and we still watch you do whatever, then we're gonna let you do whatever type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think if Ricky can get through, and I'm not gonna stop watching it because I think, like Chidi said, it's going to be something where Ricky has to get a little backbone or get maybe some protection or come with a baseball bat or some shit like that where Ricky's going to have to toughen up or not, or get a little, angrier, right? To kind of get all these 8 niggas off of him. But that's my thing though. It's 8-on-1. Like it's 8-on-1. Like how is that going to be interesting for a long time? He got to beat all 8 niggas again to get to Jericho again to end the shit.
Well, he has that guy Super Andretti coming out, Max, whatever his name is, and he got him.
Yeah, who?
Andretti. What's his name?
You talking about the nigga that don't nobody care about that beat Chris Jericho that they trying to make again? Chris Jericho's just doing shit.
Action Andretti.
He's just doing shit. He lost to Action Andretti, and we don't give a fuck who that nigga is. They want to say it's the 1, 2, 3 kid. No, it ain't. I ain't never watched that nigga before, and I ain't watched that nigga after. When he saved Ricky Starks, I'm like, nigga, this ain't nobody. Nigga, he about to get your ass beat just like Ricky.
Listen. He's working with these guys to give him something to do. They opened the show up. It's a good spot for Ricky. Ricky and Chris Jericho having Mike work together over the next couple of weeks is going to be good. And I think that's where they're intrigued in this. But is that why I'm coming to the show? No. And I think Ricky will be the reason again why I'm coming to the show. But
will he really?
I just wanted him to win that match, and he did. So I wasn't mad. If he lost, I'll be pissed. I'll be just like you. But he won the match, so I was like, all right, bet. Boom. But what's bringing me to the show is everything else, pretty much. I think that we already talked Moxie and Hangman Page.
AR Fox and Swerve. My God.
Swerve killed it, yo. Great match. AR Fox needs to be like on TV more, bro. Every time I see him, he does some shit that I've never seen before. Like deadass. Like he does shit I've never seen in the ring before. So the dude is dope. We got an Iron Man match set up for MJF and Bryan Danielson for next pay-per-view. If Bryan Danielson can win every match from now until February 8th, That's about 4 matches or 5 matches every week.
Same shit. Ricky Starks got to do to beat Chris Jericho again.
We don't know what that is. We haven't. Let's not go there. But this is the same shit that MJF has done with other people, like Wardlow and other people. So he's making him jump through hoops about having to not lose a match until he faces him, and then Daniel Bryan's like, I'll choose a stipulation then if I'll accept it if I choose a stipulation. And he's like, oh, you want to make a stipulation where I can, cheat in front of the ref? All right, go ahead. She's like, no. I'm choosing a stipulation that you got to actually wrestle and prove yourself. And that will be a Iron Man match, 1 hour, not 30 minutes, 1 hour Iron Man match at the next pay-per-view, which I forget the name of. I'll pull it up in a second, or you know it, you can pull it up. But it's gonna be Bryan Danielson.
Iron match is crazy, man.
Yeah, 1 hour.
Those are always tough, man.
So it's a test. It's a test for AEW. I mean, for MJF.
That's a test for any fucking body, yo. An hour of fucking fighting, bro. We watched some of our favorites struggle in 7-minute matches, nigga. So I always cringe at at them Iron Man matches, nigga. I'm like, yo, I ain't trying to watch one fucking match this long, man. This is crazy.
I love Iron Man matches, man, because my favorite match of all time is an Iron Man match.
The one time that made it popular, nigga, Hitman and Shawn Michaels, that was the only Iron Man I ever wanted to see, nigga. After that, I'm like, wait, we do it. We going. This is what we doing. We doing this.
Nigga, they fucked around and did it with tag teams one time.
Nigga. Like, come on, bro. Fam, wrestling already long as shit, man. We gonna make a specialty of this.
Didn't the Usos and New Age Outlaws or do some shit like on a bar or some shit like that? They did like 30-minute Iron Man match. That shit was great, nigga. Man.
Yo, you guys really hating on Iron Man matches? That's crazy.
It's tough to do. Not hating on it. It's just that it's.
Let's be real.
Right, I'll let him go.
AEW pay-per-views is long as shit. Like, you telling me y'all gonna put an hour motherfucker on that motherfucker? Like an hour straight joint on it? Y'all gotta do it where maybe y'all take breaks and have other matches in between it. And we got like picture of that bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, do that for me. Like in the meantime, hey, we got the women's match right on in picture in picture.
Yo, you gotta stimulate a nigga or something, brother.
You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, Daniel Bryan gonna beat the shit out this nigga for 60 minutes, and you intrigued by that?
Yo, listen, I've seen Iron Man matches that I've been entertained by. Randy Orton and John Cena had one. And what made it interesting? True, but that's what I was getting to. Like Randy Orton
immediately for an hour. You got to be shitting me.
We've had Triple H
kill me now.
But you have people who immediately cheat to get an advantage, like MJ could do that, and then get 2 falls right after that. Immediately get DQ'd and then get 2 falls after that. I see an opportunity for MJF to be tested as a professional wrestler in this match. With Daniel Bryan, one of the best wrestlers of all time, if not the best wrestler of our generation. So it intrigues me. I like wrestling. I like Iron Man matches, and I'm just not gonna knock it off of just the announcement. I honestly, before you even said it, I was saying Iron Man match.
LeBron.
Listen,
yeah. Yo, I told Kobe back in '93, man. Hey, listen. We ain't never gonna be able to see you in the finals, but I'm gonna admire from afar.
Yo, my nigga was like, yo, William Regal got his ass knocked out. Bryan Danielson need to beat his ass for an hour straight.
Yo, listen, man, I said it though. I said it, yo. He was like, yo, I'm gonna choose a match where you gotta, wrestle, and I'm like, yo, Iron Man match. And then he said it, Iron Man match. Like, now, like, yo, that's dope.
Next time, put that shit in the group chat so we can timestamp
it. I will, shit. But no, I did. I called it, and I honestly didn't think they were gonna do it though. I called it, but then he said Iron Man match. Like, oh shit, they're actually gonna do it for an hour. Now we haven't seen MJF wrestle for an hour. It's gonna be a huge test for him. We've seen Daniel Bryan do it with who did he have an Iron Man match with? I forget.
He's had Iron Man matches, I think, in every promotion he's been in.
Yeah. So we've seen him do it before. So definitely a test on both parts, but more so for MJF because he's never done it before. I like it because we'll get to see what he can do. We'll see what the storytelling is in that match. And I know that y'all might not be into it, but I am. I feel like I don't. My curiosity in this match is how does MJF win? How does MJF beat Brian Danielson in an Iron Man match? And when he leaves that match as champion, which will happen, how do they keep Brian Danielson, still active as a strong babyface? Because he's been, like he said, he's been choking every big match he's had. Or do we actually end the reign of MJF early and give it to Brian Danielson in an Iron match? I don't see that happening right now.
I think this is my booking goat. Okay. Danielson lose, turns, upset. Claudio tries to calm him down. Friction. Break up Blackpool Combat Club, leading to a heel Danielson, American Dragon, Claudio Cassioli, Ring of Honor Classic for the championship. And then that's when Brian Danielson breaks his streak of being a world champion and he wins the Ring of Honor championship.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he loses this, and that sends him down the downward spiral. And then I'm gonna kick your fucking head in. Starts kind of, and then the last is Claudio, and they'll beat the shit out of each other. I think in some sick kind of twisted fantasy, this would have been William Regal's and William Regal's will, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Brian Danielson test this kid MJF, right? If he's everything that he says he is, right? If he's everything that he said, now I know Mox took him to the limit. Mox gave him a beating. You know what I'm saying? Like this is gonna be a master class of this fucking business with Brian Danielson. You know what I'm saying? And if they tell a story of Brian Danielson stepping in front of Moxley and telling saving Moxley from William Regal and saying, hey, this guy believed in me, this guy, and then for MJF to put him out the way he did, even though they wrote him off and he was leaving, but for MJF to do what he did, and that moment now means something, right? I think all of that just leads into. I hope it is a good, again, Chidi. I hope it's a good wrestling match. I'm not hating on it. I'm just like, damn, it's an hour wrestling match of MJ. Like we saw the 30-minute dog collar matches. We saw him put on 30 minutes with Jon Moxley. Like he's tested himself. I get it. This is the pinnacle, right? He calls himself the pinnacle, right? This is the pinnacle Iron Man match. You want to be Ric Flair. You want to be Ricky Steamboat. You want to be Sting. You want to be Rock. Rock Austin had an Iron. You know what I'm saying? The 3 Stages of Hell match. You just like all the greats. Them put themselves through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a huge match for him. Like honestly, if he wins, when he wins, I think he will earn some credibility as a champion, regardless of how the match goes, because it's an hour. However, it doesn't really, because at this point, like I'm just curious to see how he performs. Like I don't think it's gonna be like it could be like long and drawn out, and that the challenge is to keep everybody entertained for an hour. That's a challenge of an hour, and also keep the stamina up.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Now, I'm not disregarding that I will not be entertained. I won't go in there thinking that I won't be entertained, but I am going to say that it has been a highly unlikely scenario that I'm entertained during the Iron Man match.
And that's all I'm fucking saying.
You know
is I am not going to be even with Shawn Mike and Bret Hart, nigga, I was not entertained the entire fucking match, and that was a slap with an Iron Man match.
Damn, yo.
You got it's
Crazy.
just
I mean, I was like 12 too. Nigga, I was 9 and off. I was like,
but
I
how
still
many
can go back
times
and
have we
watch it.
got and how many times have we gone back like just to watch classics, and when we went back as adults and watched it, it was like, man, we really watched this shit as a kid. It was hype.
Not that match. I'll say that. That match
Not
is
that
probably
I'm not saying
still
it's, but I'm not saying it's bad. I'm talking about the length. It just wears on you, bro. Like
I
with sports, you
that's
at least
fair.
get periods. It's like, damn.
That's fair. I think it's not for everybody.
we watch Raw, right? And we be like, man, that's a fast hour. Or we watch Raw and be like, man, it's still 8:37 around this motherfucker.
No, I know what you guys are saying. That match in particular, like I can still go back and watch it, and beat for beat, it's the best Iron Man match I've ever seen. Beat for beat, it's the best match I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
I think beat for beat, they kept you entertained, and you almost by the time you get to the end, it's like it was like poetic. It's like the way that it unfolded. So I get what you're saying because I've watched other Iron Man matches. I'm like, okay, this is kind of dragging. Dolph Ziggler had one where I was like, this is not it. It was just like them laying around for a while and then getting back up and doing some spots,
You
So
could
I
tell
hope it's not like
Lucario
that.
was up to par.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't. I hope it's not like that. And we'll see.
And I don't like to grade things off the best ever, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
true. Yeah,
like in sports, like please stop putting up numbers that he only Wilt Chamberlain did it. Well, yeah, nigga, it's Wilt Chamberlain, nigga. Like, can you put me around some regular niggas? You know what I'm saying? Like you can't get like you know what I'm saying? Like I can understand like Bryan Danielson is under. I know he's like he saw WrestleMania 12 and he saw Ric Flair, right, and Steamboat, right, put on the Iron Man, right? They've done the Iron Man. He understands the nuances of it, and I trust him to keep us engaged, right? My thing is again, like I said, we're in an unknown territory of testing and trusting someone that we've never seen do it, right? So MJF, even though we were confident in him, can you really keep up with the GOAT? Right? This is the best of the generation. You know what I'm saying? Like we got our AJ Styles and we got our Kenny Omegas and things of that Samoa Joe's, Christopher Daniels, right? We got Bryan Danielson is the one of the generation. And can you
absolutely
keep up step for
keep
step,
up
like
with
you say, beat for beat, hold for hold, move for move, ring rope, run, ring rope. Like, can you make that shit go?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm already impressed with MJF's in-ring ability. I think he's underrated in the loud matches he's had, and this is gonna be another step in his evolution. And by the time it is the bidding war 2024, listen, this is just another notch on his belt to say, listen, I can go with the best of them. I can go with the best in the ring. You put me with Seth Rollins, I can do it. You put me in with whoever, I can go out there and do an hour-long match. And also I can talk it on the mat and I can wrestle. Like the dude is just showing people that I'm the best to do this. So I love it. I love what MJF is doing. He's my favorite performer at the moment in AEW.
I was so upset that he was not on any list of 2022 as best wrestler because he's only grown into what you said and solidified himself last year. That was my point of the last argument.
I hear you. And he's gonna have to make that statement again this year. He's gonna have to really stamp that shit home for people. And I mean, is he in my top 10? I think he's in my top 10. He wasn't in a lot of other people's top 10, but he definitely isn't my number one for last year. And if I did, I think I would be being biased because I'm a big fan of his. But shout out to MJF. He's doing it. Yeah, he's a champion. He deserves to be the champion, and he will be champion for a long time. And we'll see. And this step, it's gonna be a step in how he can storytell for an hour. So I can't wait to see that. Listen, Jade Cargill and the Baddies I'm still coming to see them. I love that Red Velvet is getting her shine, and she's now getting her time to pivot away from the Baddies and do her thing because I'm a big fan. Obviously, we'll see how she and Jade Cargill mix up after this if they have a TBS championship match or something. If Red Velvet is the one to defeat Jade Cargill, if it comes full circle, I would love that. I honestly would love that because I'm a huge Red Velvet mark or whatever you want to say. But we'll see how it develops. I don't get why the whole Bow Wow thing was like never spoken about anymore. I think that was for no reason. I guess and we'll see if maybe they do something later on with that. But it seems like that is over with. So moving on, obviously we're getting women's division to grow. We got Soraya choosing Tony Storm over Hikaru Shida that you mentioned earlier, getting snubbed. Hikaru Shida needs to get a heel turn so she can get that respect back. So I like what they're doing with them. I like what they're doing with the women as well. So AEW, honestly, where you ended last year, where you're going into this year, it's good, man. To end the match and the night, Darby Allin won the TNT Championship as well. So
I want a quick pause on that. They made the mystery partner a thing, only for it to be Tony Storm. Do you think that it's still Tony Storm?
Do I think it's gonna still be Tony Storm? Yeah, I do. I think it was made a thing to play Hikaru Shida, like just to play her. Just to like publicly.
Do you think to play a Hikaru Shida or to play the fiddle and know that it aligns with Mercedes Moné?
Know that it what? Aligns with Mercedes Moné, the whole speculation. I didn't consider that at all. I think that it was really.
Oh, you didn't?
That was the big thing going around.
I'm not even
that
in
Paige
the
was
end
gonna.
Yeah.
Paige was gonna choose Mercedes. That was not. I never thought that was gonna happen. Because I mean that's the word around town, I guess. I thought because clearly she's in Japan, like she's doing her Japan thing right now.
But AEW is notorious for giving you that. Hey, you got the green light to go over here if you want, man. Just come over here and sign with Death Row.
And like she don't live in Japan, nigga. She got she hop over there.
Yeah, but I assumed that the announcement was coming pretty soon, and I was like, you probably would want her there. And she was going to New Japan for Wrestle Kingdom. My mind just never thought about it. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I just think people kind of like to just make, stretches, and maybe they did it on purpose to make them.
They do. They like to make stretches. They do.
Yeah, and jump to conclusions. But maybe AEW did consider that and say, listen, we're going to just tease this and then just swerve them for some regular shit like Tony Storm. Not that she's regular, don't get me wrong. But you know what I mean? Like we know who Tony Storm is. And we know she signed, not that much of a mystery. But this is now playing into Hikaru Shida saying like, yo, y'all disrespecting me. Fuck it. I'm going to take all y'all heads off with this fucking katana, and we'll see her turn heel, hopefully, and get a heel run. Her and Jamie Hayter, I would like to see them face again because that was a great match. So her having officially be a heel and get some aggression out with Jamie would be dope. But I think that Jamie Hayter right now is in kind of like a holding pattern because of this shit. We don't know who the real challenger is. We don't know who she's really feuding with. And I also still waiting for Britt Baker to say, listen, bitch, this is my championship, and I want this back. So we'll see where things turn.
I always said was, I see the progress of AEW's women's division. Yes, I see the expansive nature of their growth.
But the direction.
Their women's championship, their top title is held, and I love Jamie Hayter, right? But again, she's the bodyguard with the title. She's Diesel. Sean always wants that fucking title back, brother. And Sean's always the star too. So, you know what I'm saying? Britt is always going to overshadow Jamie as long as they're connected. So I need them to figure that out, man.
Yeah. Jamie, she ain't, her star potential is not maxed out yet. She hasn't gone through her Rhea glow up that she's gonna need in the next couple months because Rhea had a championship. She wasn't who she is right now. Now, if Rhea gets a championship, Rhea's fully formed. We know that Rhea is going to be a person you come into television as champion, say, oh, yeah, she looks like a champion. She sounds like a champion. She walks like a champion. She's entertaining like a champion. Jamie's not that quite yet. And it's not a knock on her because she's extremely talented in the ring. But the personality and everything has to come together too. Whereas Britt Baker has that connected already. Soraya has that. Jade Cargill has that already. Those girls seem like, okay, they have this whole thing figured out of how to be star and hold down as the champion. And we'll see. And there's no hate on her. I think she'll be a good champion, have great matches. Kind of like
one thing I do want to say about Jade too, though, is Jade needs to be Jamie in the ring for her to have the whole package, right? I think they're vice versa in both. I think
Jade's impressed me, low key. Like over the past couple of weeks, I'm seeing Jade like really. I see what she's doing. Like I see that she has a different style. She's a big woman. She's a powerhouse. She's not gonna be fucking
yeah,
Hikaru Shida or
she's like
Ember
5'11", 5'10", 5'11". Yeah,
yeah, she's taller than the most of the women. She's more powerful. You know, she looks the part, and so her way of wrestling is gonna be more akin to like a Rhea, where it's like but she's not doing no dives and nothing like that. And I see her coming into that form. Like some of the moves she does now, I did not see her do before. So I see that coming along. So I just need her to have one really good match to put it all together. And I'm like, there you go. I haven't seen that quite yet, and I see it moving that direction though. I'm very confident that she can do it. Yeah.
and I think that's the reason why I said that, because Jamie just had that, right?
Yeah, true. I feel you.
That's
Yeah.
the only reason I said,
Yeah.
because Jamie, she can, right? She
Yeah.
and again, the experience of that goes a long way as well too. But
Yeah, and we knew Jimmy could do it. She just didn't get the opportunity. Now maybe
True.
Jay can do it. You just got to give her the opportunity. And even that, Athena match, it was short. Like it's like not like she got the time to really put together a good match. Even though it was short, I liked it. So Jay Cargill has made a big. I think she's probably her and the Acclaim for 2022 are my most improved. Like both of those two, like my most improved superstars. Then you got people like on WWE side, Austin Theory's improved a lot. But for AEW, those two are the most improved talents I've seen in AEW and developing. And man, like the AEW is really developing great talent. Like I gotta give it to them, man. Where TNA and Impact failed, they are succeeding in doing that. You got Darby, Jungle Boy, you got Ricky Starks, MJF, Jade, all these Britt Baker. You guys are developing stars that
the Acclaim, Adam
Acclaim.
Hangman Page,
Swerve and Mogul Philly it's becoming a thing now. He got his bodyguards, like they have a presence. So much shit where Swerve couldn't be utilized in WWE. We're seeing it here, and he's feeling like he is a real threat. Like him and Darby's gonna bang, and Darby's gonna be like he's gonna be a threat for a championship. So Swerve and Darby, I'm waiting for that.
That's going
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So let me ask you, Darby winning the championship obviously was like his home state. I wasn't feeling it. Like after everything we saw Wardlow last week to set up this match and then have him beat Samoa Joe and get the championship, I was like, all right, Darby's great. I love him. I know he's a great talent, but this is not how I would have done this joint. And I think what will redeem it is if we get Swerve and Darby down the line and all that stuff. But I don't think this was the right move right now. I think Samoa Joe and Wardlow storyline got completely like just pushed to the side for Darby to get a moment.
I think then I'll let Cuz take over while I finish fucking these chips up. I think this goes back to my original point. Wardlow was given that TNT title in a space where he was just so red hot and they needed something to do with it. Again, the Ricky Stark situation.
I got you.
But you know what I'm saying? They just needed something to do with him. They needed to give him something. The TNT title was it. That threw off the trajectory of where they wanted and how they wanted to move for a while, because again, a lot of those guys who were going to go for that title, who's beating Wardlow. You know what I'm saying? Like the only way he can lose it is against a Samoa Joe or Will Hobbs. Like if that's the only way, he has to win it against another monster that you're trying to build, or someone who has the cachet or the vulnerability enough who can lose to another babyface. So,
should have been Will Hobbs then. Like if you were going to do all this, it should have just been Will Hobbs. At least he gets a big rub from it. Samoa Joe does not need the championship one.
Can Will Hobbs kill Darby Allin now? Oh, can I say kill? I don't know if that will go up. Can he unalive Darby Allin and toss him down the steps or some shit like that?
Maybe we got Will Hobbs, we got Swerve, potential threats to Darby now. I do think that, however, that whole Samoa Joe reign could have been Will Hobbs' reign, just as easy. Just as much as it could have been Will Hobbs' reign. Will Hobbs could have been the one to cut his hair. It would have given Will Hobbs that presence that we've always been seeing, but hasn't been really completely solidified on screen. Like, we know what he can do. We know his mindset. We know that we know that he's about to break somebody's back. We know that he's willing to put people through hell. And if he does that and displays disrespect by cutting Wardlow's hair and taking his championship, like, oh shit, this guy is serious. They put all the steam behind Wardlow. Now Will Hobbs took him out. Then they create a dynamic between two upcoming stars who can go back and forth to have a history. Whereas Small Joe, him bitching out Wardlow last week, I thought was ridiculous. Like, he's old. I'm sorry, he's old. Small Joe is great. One of my favorite wrestlers, bro. He's one of the best on the mic, even. But they haven't even utilized him on the mic, even. He's already television champion in ROH. Like, let him do his thing over there. Give that championship to Will Hobbs and make that guy, a star in his own right. And then you got the whole Darby, Will Hobbs, dynamic, along with Wardlow in the background, or Wardlow can then move on to the main event scene.
So is Will Hobbs our book in black?
Let's go with it. Will Hobbs, he's been cutting his promos. Where does he go? Is it Darby? I think that's where we can do. But if they do this, he has to win the championship at some point.
Do you see? Because I don't see them putting it on him.
That sucks because
if they do that.
Exactly. They just gave it to Darby in his home state. Right. Sting had a heartwarming woman, hugged him and all that stuff. Beat Small Joe, the who just took out Wardlow. And then you have this kid come and beat him. Granted, he did abuse him before the match even started with a skateboard, and did all this crazy shit. And he did win by, he pinned him flat out. Where Wardlow failed, Darby took Small Joe's playbook, attacked him before the match, and then beat him. And it's like, I hope they give Wardlow time off screen, put it that way, because we gotta give him time to just cool off. But Will Hobbs right now, I think he's been doing his Book of Hobbs, and he has to, write his testament on why he should be TNT champion, why he was robbed out of it, and how he's going to be the bane to Darby's Batman and break this nigga's back.
I like that.
Pause.
No pause. Nigga, Will Hobbs got to completely destroy him, man. For real, man. That's what I'm.
That nigga Will Hobbs come on the mic and be like, Darby, I'm gonna break your back. Somebody in the crowd gonna be like, that's gay.
Yo, we can't.
Like Raleigh from the Boondocks.
Yo, we can't say nothing without somebody pausing us. Damn, yo, Jesus Christ. Nah, but
we don't make the rules.
We do not make the
rules. Listen, I already told you, Bane, Batman. I thought that would get me out of the whole thing. Jesus Christ, y'all get what I meant. Shit. I don't see them putting the title on him so soon. But maybe they can stretch it out to the pay-per-view, and maybe put them in a match where there is some out for Darby.
I mean, if you're talking about. If Bryan Danielson got to go 4 weeks, then yeah, you can build a. And it ain't like that TNT title ain't never bounced before. And
within the span of 3 weeks, we had Cody, Sammy Guevara, back to Cody, back to Sammy Guevara. Like, that shit was crazy. So, like, give him his run for 4 weeks. Darby, boom. After, MJF, wins over Bryan Danielson, so Darby can go to face, MJF. And maybe there he can have an angle or something for some time. So, I need Will Hobbs to get his burn this year. Some way, somehow, Will Hobbs has to become champion. I don't care if it's ROH. I don't care if it's AEW. Ideally AEW, because you get TV time at least with the belt. So yeah, come on, Will Hobbs.
They should have won the tag. They should have won the tag team title.
They should have won the tag team championship, man. Ricky Starks and Will Hobbs. I mean, granted, we had this whole drawn out Swerve and Keith Lee storyline, which could have started back then. They didn't need to wait for them to drop it to the Acclaim. I think Starks and Will Hobbs dropping it to the Acclaim would be just as good as, what they did. But yeah, here we are.
All right, so that's wrapping up AEW. I know we tackled a little bit of WWE. We talked about Austin Theory and Seth Rollins, United States Championship match, first Raw of New Year's that happened on Monday. Seth hurt himself, so he's down. AJ Styles broke his ankle over the holidays at a house show. He's down.
WrestleMania, man, took a hit this week, man.
Bro, at least Royal Rumble, I would say. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, how long is Seth gonna be out? Because AJ's not gonna be around for a while.
Well, AJ says I don't know how long he's gonna be down, but he said he doesn't need surgery. So
he says it's gonna be the longest he's ever been out.
Yeah, he did
with an injury. So I assumed immediately that he's probably not gonna make it to WrestleMania. Maybe I'm wrong.
Been injured though. That's the thing. AJ's been like Brett Favre, nigga. I ain't never been off, nigga.
And then Seth, if it's the same knee, if he has to get surgery too, we all know how long that was last year. I mean, last time in 2015, or 16.
Let's hope. I don't know. Let me check and see what they said about his knee, because it has been. Is there update on his knee? Let me check. I know he tweeted out reclaim, redesign, rebuild, that whole thing. Yeah, man, it looks like he's gonna be down. I don't know. I don't know how long he's gonna be out, but yeah, if he's gonna be out past WrestleMania, shit, it wasn't his time anyway. You know what I'm saying? We waiting on the Cold Man. Shout out to Cody.
Furthermore, man, this
nigga turned me by going to a whole nother company. That's crazy.
I know, right?
Facts.
But yeah, and you're right. It wasn't Seth's time, anyways, per se. But he's still a huge star that should have been at WrestleMania with the, sing my music shit that he's been doing. I mean, Seth versus a lot of people would have been dope. I think that at WrestleMania, I think that he's a guarantee for a good match, and that's what we're missing now. Now without him there, we're just gonna have to figure out some other shit. Now we got some younger stars who can make an impact. Finn Balor's still around,
which is what the fuck we've been clamoring for, man. Yes, Seth
is
down. Yes, AJ is down. Fam, we have a locker room full of talent. This shouldn't even be the complaint. When WrestleMania is so long, they broke it up into two fucking parts.
True that. Now, I mean, last year he didn't even have a storyline. He just kind of showed up and Cody was there. Still had a great match.
He just made up the storyline to get in
there. But speaking of underutilized talent, the Hurt Business is being teased to come back backstage. I like the way they do this, man. Raw had a backstage, how they walk out to the ring. You saw Damage Control walking out to the ring. But in the background, you see MVP with Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin talking to Adam Pearce. And everybody is thinking, oh, shit, is the Hurt Business coming back? Because think about it. The Hurt Business was dope. Like, I bought the T-shirt. I bought the gear, and it just abruptly dispersed. And I think that with Triple H back in the fold, he understands the value in what that stable was. Right now, Bobby Lashley not really doing much, maybe he can use a little change of pace, change of attitude, with him being fed up with the way people talking, disrespecting him with the Brock Lesnar stuff, and he gets his boys and restarts the band.
I would say that the Hurt Business coming back will only benefit us if it's the bloodline related.
Okay.
So I stated in my Ayatollah's afternoon joint that the Hurt Business gotta be employed by Adam Pearce. Right? Adam Pearce at one time needed niggas to come take out Retribution. It's time for my niggas to be like, okay, how much is it again? And then my
Yeah.
nigga, MVP gonna be like, man, that was the pandemic price, buddy.
Right.
I know
He
that
say,
money.
Joe,
I know that money. I
he
know
said,
that money
Joe,
flowing
not only
in right now, man.
not only am I bringing the band back, but I'm bringing back the Almighty who was holding down your company for a minute.
Nah,
Yeah.
Yeah, the price went up.
Who you just fired? You know what I'm
That
saying?
you just fired,
Uh-huh.
and you know who I'm bringing along with me, because I mean he been sitting back here on ice to begin with.
Yeah, man. Yesterday's price and not today's price. You know, I think that you bring the band back together, and have Lashley lead them against the Bloodline. I think I've been waiting for the Roman and Bobby Lashley match. And this version of them, I think will be dope. What we missed out on Survivor Series last year, they can finally reclaim that kind of dynamic and see where that goes over the next couple of months. And see, I like the idea that the Usos still need somebody to face. They've been cleaning up the tag division for the past year.
Man.
So Cedric and Shelton are super talented. Why not put on a banger with the Usos and see what they can do at WrestleMania or whatever they want to do. So, or going up to WrestleMania or whatever they have planned for the Hurt Business. But the fact that people are even talking about it just off of the backstage, tease, they didn't even talk about the Hurt Business. They just saw an image of MVP behind Damage Control, with Cedric and Shelty talking to Adam Pearce, and that's it. And mind you, the Bloodline just appeared on that show that to start the show, tearing shit up, saying, "Listen, we're here to fuck shit up. We own this show," and that makes perfect sense. What you said about them coming together. So this is a second book in black. Hurt Business coming together to take out the to defend Raw from the Bloodline will be a dope storyline. There you go. You guys get two today.
Two book and blacks. Two book and
Book and blacker, bitch.
Book and blacker. Bigger and blacker.
It's never too dark in the book and black corner, baby.
Never too
we
dark.
can book black all goddamn. I can do this all night.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Shit. One last thing we gotta talk about Bianca and
Yep. Speaking of black, I'm about to say Bianca.
yeah, black of the berry, sweeter than juice.
Yeah.
That's all.
One time down to Montez, respectfully. I know. Listen, our first, the Marine, from Marine to Marine. I know they train you to be a shooter first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing they tell your little ass to do. And I'm talking about me, my little ass, man. They say, "Hey, what's your size, bitch? Rifle." Huh? Because you can't do a motherfucking thing. Go ahead and learn that over there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying respectfully, Montez, I know you might be an expert or sharpshooter. You know what I'm saying? Your wife is beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no way around it.
Wait a minute, shooters. Okay, forget it. Let me just move on. Go ahead.
Yeah, my okay. This is my job history when they asked me on my resume. Okay, the Piggly Wiggly, okay, and then I worked at Subway, and then United States Rifleman is my third job I've ever had. You know what I'm saying? That's what. And then they say, "Hey, you want to learn administrative stuff while you're here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, cool. Like, okay, cool, but that rifle gonna be on your chair."
So who are you shooting at?
Oh well, I mean,
My man said, "Well, if you know, you know."
All right, got you.
I was a United States Rifleman. Okay, wherever they need you to shoot, you just point the gun that way. You know what I'm saying?
But in the context of, forget it, of Bianca. Okay. Okay.
All I'm saying is that as I'm sitting in my garage, I got my two rifles on the side of me and my pistols right here on my table. I know Montez is the same way. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, got you.
So I mean no disrespect.
Listen, I don't. Yeah,
life, you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to see a shootout in no ways. at all. Listen,
Man, listen, man. Tez know he got a Cody, man. I know he can't be one of them sensitive type of dudes, no way. So respectfully,
Nah, he can't. I know.
I
I
think
know
he
him
I
and
think he
Bianca.
I think he
I know they
understand.
love this. I know they love Super Strong. Where he know, cause shit, you know, quiet as is kept. You know what I'm saying? Montez just got to put on some thigh meat, nigga. You know what I'm saying? He a little light in the ass, but you know he a handsome fella. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Bianca gotta check niggas in her comments too, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You
Facts.
know what I mean?
Facts. Do these bitches know?
all
know-
right. And Bianca, her storyline.
Nigga,
Well,
this is better than the storyline of Alexa Bliss, nigga.
Listen, we both know they have their own show coming out. Bianca Montez, reality TV. They look like stars. They are stars. It makes sense. I get it. But I'm not here to talk about the looks of them. I'm here to talk about the storyline. They're in. You know, Bianca got her shit going with Alexa Bliss going on right now. Because obviously, with all due respect to Montez, we all know how she's fantastic. She was in a fitness competition recently. I think that this Alexa Bliss storyline is perfect for right now for Rumble. Rumble time, you know, it ain't like, all right, we're looking for something to crazy to shake shit up right now. But I think Bianca overcoming the supernatural aspects of Alexa right now would be dope to move on. And I don't.
Oh, look how he liked the supernatural shit. Well, when it was zombies and shit, we could.
He said, "Get that zombie shit up out of here." He did.
Yeah, still, I stand by that shit. Get that zombie shit out of here. If it doesn't no context in a freaking lumberjack match with the Miz and fucking Damian Priest, please. To freaking promote your fucking movie with Dave Bautista, fuck out of here with that shit. And nothing to do with the storyline. Nothing to do with it.
Shout out to Dave Bautista being the greatest wrestler turned
actor. Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to Big Dave.
I know.
If you will.
I know The Rock is mad about that, but shit, he ain't a real actor anyway.
Shout out to The Rock. Maybe you bring it back.
The Rock is the biggest. He is the biggest action actor.
Action star.
Nigga, ain't no way around that. I mean, it's a difference between best and the biggest. You know what I mean, he might not be the best, but he is this nigga is Will Smith of today.
Oh please, no.
He is the Rocky of Sylvester Stallone. He is that of 2022.
All right,
you
can say he's Rocky. You can say all that shit. You can say he's Vin Diesel. You can't say he's Will. Come on, Will.
He is. He blockbuster. That's why they tried to put him on Black Adam. It ain't his fault that movie flopped.
It ain't. And Will done had some flops too while he was
exactly. Yeah, exactly. He every summer the Rock gonna be in some action heat, bro. Like they count on the Rock for them big action numbers, man.
But Will's also
they make up action movies for this nigga.
Will also just won an Oscar, like, you know. So like The Rock ain't winning an Oscar anytime soon.
Just now, how long has Will been acting, bro?
Rock ain't gonna win no Oscar ever. I'm telling you.
But the point I'm making is you just made a null and void.
They're not gonna make Best Explosion for this nigga.
Thank you. You gonna get something for one of them nanny movies? What you talking about? And it's gonna be 20 years down the line.
I don't mean to play The Rock though. I mean he's doing his thing, but he ain't no Dave.
The Rock looking at Dave like, catch up. I see you, little Guardian of the Galaxy money. Catch up.
Nigga, I ain't gonna hold you. The Rock is definitely trying to get some Guardian of the Galaxy money, brother.
He wants to have action figures.
That Black Adam shit flop, nigga. I need something that's gonna come through, nigga. Shit, group, nigga. He can't even do Guardian of the Galaxy because he got beef with Vin Diesel, nigga.
Shit.
Like, nigga, I already stepped aside on one franchise, nigga. I ain't doing it again.
Yeah, he's hitting up Marvel for something.
Nigga.
Yeah, after DC just kicked his ass out the door.
Nigga, they said, it's like when your wife was like, well, no, it's not your wife. I heard a joke when on Comic View, shout out to Comic View when it was on. Heard a joke when he was like, I put it in my woman, and she was like, is it in yet? He's like, bitch, what I supposed to do? Wind the back and extend it? Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you know what I'm saying? DC looked at Black Adam and they said, is it in yet? That nigga was like, shit, what I supposed to do?
Yo, that's wild. That's wild.
He said that's your baby mom pulling you in closer. Like, this is all I got. Go deeper, bitch. This is everything.
Why do close your walls, nigga? Why the movies cost so much? Why I'm expected to bring $1 billion, nigga? I can't $1 billion. You know how many people make $1 billion? You think The Rock can make $1 billion? You know?
Yeah, can he at least get 500,000, 500 mil?
Can I get
500 mil? Like, at least get that shit.
Yo, they were really counting on him to solely provide CPR for the franchise, nigga.
But he was trying to take control of that shit, man. Like The Rock is like he's tried to like take the franchise over, the whole DC universe. Like I'm gonna direct it,
he got a little
dude.
ego too, man.
And they're like, nah, we can't let you do this.
He far from $7, nigga, but he trying to stretch that motherfucker a little for a while, nigga.
He wanted his production company to take over production of it, which I thought was a bad idea. But hey, for him, it would have made him a lot of money for sure. But hey, listen, I'm not meaning to dump on The Rock.
Right, back to
Yeah,
Bianca.
were we? Bianca, yeah. Yeah, Bianca.
I think what you're saying, this is a great feud for her during the time, which I do agree. We talked about it. Since we here, did we talk about Charlotte winning the title?
Yeah, we already talked about that.
We talked about that.
We talked about that the last time. I was with y'all when we was talking about it. On the recording, the last recording we all did together.
I thought that was on the chat. I thought that was on the
We did not talk about it.
You sure?
I'm positive. Yeah, it was last day of the year, and we recorded the day before.
Yeah.
So we got to talk about Charlotte, the Queen, coming back and reclaiming the championship on SmackDown from Ronda Rousey after she's already had a match. What do you think about that?
Whack, but Ronda's off the title,
Right.
Ronda's off the TV, so I mean, thank you.
Because honestly, she don't need the title right now. Work that heel angle with Shayna. She don't necessarily need the title, so it's cool. But yeah, the way they did it was kind of boo boo. But I mean, it's Charlotte,
Yeah,
so
the way they did it was whack. I'm gonna agree. So much so that I was like, damn, like that's how you do. Like I was kind of really disappointed to see her, and I wanted her back, but that's the way they, like the way they did it. It's like okay,
that's
of
big
course.
coming from you because you love you some Flair.
Yeah, I love all the women, but especially if you're talented, which she is. But yes, Flair, I have no like. Listen, it's not like a crush on her. I don't have any in that way. It's more of her talent in the ring. She's one of the best to do it. When it comes to her presence and her mic work, she needed on SmackDown for sure. But there's so many ways they could have done this to make this more. I don't know. You already had John Cena that day. Like you didn't need Charlotte. You know, you already had John Cena coming back and all that shit happening. You didn't need Charlotte. I get it. It was a surprise for the end of the year. We'll see how it develops this week on SmackDown tomorrow. But hey, it does add an injection of intrigue into the SmackDown Women's Division, which we said we needed it. So they gave it to us. So I can't complain too much. But I think they could be more creative. Oh, for sure. Yeah, Ronda has to get a rematch. And honestly, Charlotte Flair as a babyface doesn't work. It just doesn't work for me, at least. So I don't think this is gonna. I think within a month or two, we're gonna be tired of it.
Yeah, we're tired of it now. It's been like 10 minutes.
She hasn't even done.
I'm with Chris. I was tired as soon as she got the belt. I'm like, God damn it! Damn.
You're just padding her stats. They're just padding her stats.
Exactly.
Right now, I'm like, nah, they not finna do that. Really?
Yep.
And then she did the roll up just like Liv.
Yep.
Just
that's
like
that's the only way Ronda can lose the title by a roll up.
She came like and to me like.
And the word on the street is that they want to get a title on Rhea Ripley to face Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. And I'm like, yo, have you not been hearing us all year? We wanted Becky and Ronda, Charlotte and Bianca. Like, let's go. And now Charlotte has a championship and Bianca's a championship. And I'm like, yo, what are y'all gonna do to give me this match before WrestleMania? How the hell y'all gonna figure this shit out? you know. And this was just the wrong play for me. I think you wait for the Royal Rumble, you debut Charlotte in the Royal Rumble. She's back, she wins it, goes after Bianca, boom, easy. But hey, here we are.
I think Naomi comes. My hot take: Naomi wins the Rumble. She challenges Charlotte. She's on SmackDown.
Okay, I'm with it. I'm with it. Yeah.
Yep. And we're booking Black again.
I'm with it. I'm with it. I mean, I just don't. I at this point, I don't know who's gonna win the Women's Royal Rumble, and I honestly it should be Rhea. I'll be honest with the year that she's had, but I'm not even sure if Naomi even coming back. So, like, I mean, she is, then dope. I mean, she can win it, and I'll be dope. I would love for her to win the Royal Rumble. But
You don't know if she coming back. She coming back. FTR coming back. Man, this is gonna be a favorite reunion.
Don't get your hopes up. Don't
Bro,
get your hopes
you
up.
think Bailey get on that plane by herself? Nigga, she a double spy. What you talking about, nigga? Bailey was there to drop that motherfuckers like, hey, you know.
How you know that FTR ain't just trying to re-up some deals with MJPW and the Indies and all that stuff? How you know Naomi don't want to go join, Stardom? You never know. I'm just saying, you never know.
I know. I know. FTR did the
Only thing I'll say is
they
Jimmy
these.
or John Fatu is still in WWE, so that makes sense. Yeah, you'd be working with your husband again. Maybe she's back with the Bloodline. Bloodline Naomi versus Charlotte. I like that.
Yeah. Give me.
Yeah, because they absolutely need a woman over there.
They do.
Anything else that we missed out of this 2-hour extravagant?
So wait, because we definitely just brushed past the Bianca thing. We don't care about finally getting the storyline that homegirl is gonna be switching over to the Bray storyline, which we still kind of don't really know what the fuck is going on there. Even though we waiting for.
I don't care, man. Honestly, I don't care. Bianca, when you talk, Bianca was already going to be Alexa. When Alexa Bliss came back from the Elimination Chamber, we knew, right? We was like, damn, Bianca and the Bliss is going to be something down the line. So, like, this being it, they already had the storyline where she explained herself and she said that, some shit that she don't even understand, but they're still making it a part of her storyline, which I think is pretty dope because we don't know what the fuck going on with Bray either, nigga. Shit, the nigga got attacked by Uncle Howdy, nigga. I don't know what the fuck.
So that's what I mean. Like, we brushed by this, so like I'm happy for that storyline, but even more importantly, I feel like that match was pretty dope. I thought they told a pretty dope story with just the match itself before we even knew, oh, this was about to happen now. It's finally about to happen. Like, I thought the match was actually a dope match.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. What they're doing right now with Alexa, I would say, has been teased out, and I like the way they're going with it. And I'm curious, like you said, I like the way they're going with it. I think that Bianca still get the victory. And I like the way they teased it because I am interested to see what influence Bray is going to have going forward.
That's all we care about. We know she's not losing a strap to her, but she don't need the strap either.
And Alexa's journey through her, her psychosis or mental health issues, whatever may be going on, her supernatural abilities coming back. I just hope they do it right. They don't make it corny. That's all. And they haven't yet, so I gotta give them the props.
Right, exactly.
Triple H letting that breathe. He letting them do what he wants. So he definitely keeping us on our toes. Cause I'm like, nigga, what the fuck? Every time they do something, I'm like, bruh. But I'm tuned the fuck in, and I'm invested.
Yeah, I think they're doing really good work with Bianca and Alexa. I think telling the in-depth story that's not predicated on like insecurity or some infidelity or some shit like that, or you looked at my likes, like it's some shit that they'll give a man, which we always wanted in the women storyline is for it to be equal, whether it be equal is good or equal is bad, so
yeah, I agree. Other than that,
NXT, but I had already gave my comment. NXT was trash. I ain't got shit to say about it. So you can say what it is that you want, but
No,
I ain't.
I'm good, man. I was hoping that you had something like better.
Dude, I had something to say. That means you
Listen,
ain't watched the Iron.
listen.
Tune in to the Ayatollah's afternoon joint where I give you.
I came on live just to tell ya this shit was trash. Oh shit! Listen, man. They're trying. I'll say that. They're trying. They're making things interesting. Got Carmelo and Apollo, which is cool. Um, I just
Listen,
waiting for
man, they all
Dragon
can't
Lee.
be a
Dragon Lee,
homer.
shout out to Dragon Lee getting signed. So we gotta talk about Dragon Lee and the potential of him linking up with some of those guys, Wesley. Linking up with Braun Breaker, whoever down there in NXT, Carmelo, while he's and I think that gives a new, bigger name NXT, which they need. Which, like I've always said, bring somebody from the Indies. I like that kind of influence. I like you guys making homegrown talents, but if they can't get over organically, they're gonna be stale for a minute. Like Braun Breaker was getting over. I think Dolph Ziggler ruined that shit for him. I personally feel like that. But hey, that's what I believe. Then everybody after that didn't help his reign at all. So he was getting over organically. Carmelo got over organically. We love Wesley for his story past year, what he went through. I just think that Dragon Lee adds somebody who's like, oh, he's new. We're familiar with him,
Well,
and
I will. I
let's see
will
what he
break.
can do.
I would say this, and we don't have to get stuck here. I would say Braun Breaker needed to be tested, and the NXT didn't have anybody to test him. Right? Like I think that when he did win it off of Tommaso Ciampa, like okay, he like Tommaso, but again, like Tommaso is a storyteller, right? Can Braun tell a story? Right? Okay, he tells a story, told a story with Tommaso. Okay. Can he go? Right? And who's the best goer we got? We send Dolph down there. And if you send him down there, you see that if Dolph is like, hey man, I think the kid's ready. I need a program with him, or just give me 2
Did
months.
he need to win the championship? Did he need to beat him at the biggest
No,
stage
I don't know. I don't
of
think
his
so.
career?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't think. But again, like, okay, so we go back and like, if Santos was the guy, Santos and Braun, right? We would have wanted Santos to win.
How about this?
You brought Braun against Dolph. You want Dolph to lose, but then so I think you build it's another emotional attachment as well. But also, if Dolph have that match with him and he loses the first one, and he's like, "Hey, the kid just needs a little bit more time. I need a little bit like."
How about this?
And you do
He
that.
beats Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler takes his ass out of NXT after that. Santos immediately comes at him with Legado, and he gets a short reign, and Braun gets it back rather than him losing it to Dolph Ziggler for that little bit of time. Santos gets his short reign with Legado, and then he comes after that. He has this whole Tony D'Angelo thing. After that, gets called up. Like
Santos having a legacy, also being the only competitor to have the cruiserweight North American and world championship, that would have legato. You know what I'm saying? Legacy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think that means legacy. Let me look that confidently, bro. Give me 1 second. Okay. I don't know if that's true. Let me see. Legacy
you're right.
in Spanish. Okay, it is.
Yeah. I mean, you got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Legacy, you're right.
Yeah.
Wait, did Carmelo? Carmelo did it.
No,
well, he's going to do it.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
exactly. No, he'll be the first one to do it. Now that's Black History.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, we need Carmelo to go after Braun. I think that's his only hope, man. You got Dragon Lee, you got Wesley, and you got Carmelo as the potential guys that I would like to see go after Braun and compete, like really going.
Yeah, we got all those UK niggas out the way. That was another waste.
They shut down NXT UK. They're like, all right, guys, gotta do something.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough, guys.
And where has Tyler Bate been since?
Nigga, no more accents, nigga. I'm like, come on, like no more accents, nigga. You had JD McDonough, you had Ilya Dragunov in that motherfucker, bro. Like You had again, nigga. I'm like, nigga, come on, nigga.
I mean, I don't mind it. Honestly, they can wrestle. I just don't mind it back to back to back to back. Like I just like you could have threw in Apollo a lot earlier. You could threw in.
We even have a few with Gunther there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yo,
they, you know what I mean? Like, and he
Gunther and
you know
Braun. I wanted to see that. Yeah,
we did have it. It was a banger.
it was one match. It wasn't like an angle.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
That's
know.
what I'm saying.
That's what I was waiting for.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So exactly. NXT trash. Basuda,
Okay.
right? That's Spanish too, right?
That's
It
Spanish
is.
for
It
garbage.
is. You're right. You working on your Spanish? I see you. Okay. All
You're in
right.
Florida. You might as
Chill out
well.
for my
I know,
white
right?
hoes that I know that fucking.
Oh, I know the hoes. All right.
You know what I'm saying? Nigga, why nigga can't take Duolingo? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Duolingo, sponsor. Zaxby, sponsor. Come on, man. Like, we need some sponsorships this year. You know what I mean?
I'm hearing that. Let's talk some NFL before we get out of here. I'm hearing that the NFL might put in a new rule to make another team enter the playoffs, which is crazy this late in the season.
Wait, what?
Yep. Check out your online. The NFL might put in the rule to bring in another team. And I'm just saying, let's go Jets. We still in this.
Wait, this year? No, I can't.
This year, I'm dead ass.
No.
This just came out just now, about like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I'm not giving that any credence.
Nigga, exactly. Like they don't even know what to do with the games. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. I know, right? It's crazy.
I don't know what.
I hear DeMar
They
Hamlin's making a
already
recovery.
second guessing themselves with this extra game they put in the season. They're like,
exactly,
which I thought was odd because I'm getting this to my feed around. But hey, I don't know if it's true or not.
It's send the link.
yeah, send that. Because I definitely ain't get that. I definitely ain't get that report from Bleacher Report.
ESPN,
nothing.
I go off, nigga.
You know, I get all the little rumors. Yeah, send that.
I will.
Now, if we want to talk some NFL, I guess we can just first and foremost, like I say, I started off the episode giving my condolences to DeMar Hamlin. So if we're gonna talk about any NFL, I think we should just start off and say that the most recent news that we have heard, since we are getting alerts and shit, is that he's squeezing his family members' hands now. He has opened his eyes, and he has been responsive and even asked the question, "Who won the game?"
Wow. Wow.
He's communicating through Ryan. He ain't able to talk.
He went through all of what he went through, brother, and said, "Did my niggas win?" You know what I'm saying? So that brought a little something to. I think that kind of is bringing the feel back. But I wanna bring something to you guys. I brought in the group chat, and Rich just like was not home hummed it, but like he said, I thought we all knew it. No, I did not know that NFL players only got 5 years of health care, and also I did not know that you had to play at least 3 years and 3 games before you are an NFL player. So that's not common knowledge. That's not common knowledge for those who are not necessarily in the know. We do know that NFL contracts aren't guaranteed. We do know that DeMar Hamlin contract this year is 800.
He's still in that rookie contract, so he wouldn't if he were to lose his if he were to pretty much come out the hospital and they say your career is done. All those the small print in those contracts, he not getting none of that. He gets no benefits from the NFL whatsoever.
Which means that they do need to change things this season coming up in their players' collective bargaining agreement. I think we all know there might be even rule changes to the game now because of the condition he was put in. But thank God he is making a recovery, because that was tragic just to even watch. It was scary, and I'm just glad that the guy is doing well. He raised over like $6 million for charity, like, but it shouldn't take that to do that. But I will say that at least in the long run, he's healthy. Hopefully, he can make a full recovery. I'm not sure if he should be playing football, considering what just happened.
Well, I can't even say they can't even say that he's held because he's still, even with the progress he's making, they don't have him in stable condition just yet. He's
Okay.
still
Yeah,
pretty
he's
much
still in
critical.
critical. He's
He's
still
still
in
Okay.
critical.
condition. And I think even what you was just about to say, you don't think he's playing for, and that goes back to what we were saying, which again, like Rich was, if he never plays another NFL down again, play again, or game again,
He should still get medical
but
insurance.
he should, but he won't.
He
You
should,
know
but
what
he
I'm saying?
won't.
Because it's
His
not collective.
benefits, but
It's
it's
not
almost like you starting a brand new job. That 90-day period, he's still basic. He's in that 90-day period of his
Well,
benefits.
Y'all almost killed this kid. Make
but-
an exception, bro.
but it's
And that's what
collective.
I'm trying to say. And I get the rules of fucking, language and the contract and shit. Yo, this is a human being that almost lost his life on your fucking ground, on your field for your entertainment, for your company, because this is your company, right? The Bills, it's a company. This needs to be rectified in some facet, especially if he doesn't play the game.
Terry Pagula is a 6.5. I mean, he's a multi-billionaire.
He's a billionaire. Yep.
6.5 billion is his net worth. I do believe that he can take care of the kid.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I do believe that all medical expenses and house alterations and vans and care. I think. Listen, in Buffalo is also one of the most. St. John, right? I'm sorry, John Hopkins, right? And then UAB, and then we got UB, University of Buffalo, as medical. That they produce really great, so you can get some great help up that way, but it costs.
Yeah.
And again, like you were just about to say, it's humanity. Forget the contracts. I think goes back to will this be a change of the guard? We talk about wrestling, right? Where certain things be the change of the guard. Will this collective bargaining? What happened to players? Because again, this is what Cuz is saying. He's on a rookie contract. Those guys, DeMar Hamlin, he's one of those guys who's not going to hold out when it comes to like getting things changed. Because again, his lifespan in the NFL, not his life, but his lifespan in the NFL is only long enough for him to get vetted, for him to get a pension 30 years later, right? Can't touch that pension until you're 55. He's 24. So he got to play he got to play another year, which he'll be 20. Like if he was fully healthy, he would have to play another year, be 25 years old, and then if this injury happened next year, then he will be in a situation where I know that I'll be able to be taken care of for life. But because he's in that period, this predatory state of contractual obligations, he can't.
Once you're made a starter,
yeah,
you should just be a good grandfather. Then I think and that's my opinion because anything can happen at any time.
You say once you make that 53 man roster.
Yeah.
Once you make that 53 man roster, you think you should be. But listen, look at the NFL and the concussions, settlement. Like they haven't paid out. They haven't paid out over 60% of the claims.
It's sad, man. And I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how they do
and
that.
I'm like,
either,
how you got a bill? You got $1 billion from Jeff Bezos. Just turn the check over. Just sign the motherfucker over and disperse it. You got the money.
And that's why when you mentioned just the this is what they should do, and moving forward, you would expect the players to make sure that this is in collective bargaining. When we first learned about CTE, you would have thought then that they did, but here we are. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it sucks to think that, because you would want for them to be in the most dangerous sport of them all, to have not just your guaranteed contracts, but again, the benefits that are necessary when you are removed from the game itself. Because even outside of the pension, just regular health care is half-assed with all of these guys.
And I would say when the rhetoric is the most dangerous, they are of the most dangerous who don't guarantee contracts, right? Because soccer guarantees a contract, hockey guarantees a contract, and them niggas is sliding on swords, my nigga. Like carotid arteries is getting sliced and shit like that. Like, so like hockey is very dangerous. You get more concussions, and there's been more cardiac arrests in soccer than it is in actual American football, right? So there's data that shows that
Right.
NFL football is safe, and also this is the first time in our actuality this has happened, right? We see people paralyzed, right? We've seen quadriplegic, like we've seen, but this has been the first time that like niggas is like, oh shit, like it ain't just head, neck, spinal. It's if my heart is beating at a certain price.
Millisecond, you know, it's
All
crazy.
I gotta do is get hit hard enough to cause an irregular heartbeat. That's
Right, you
all.
know
That's
what I'm
all. And
saying?
anybody can get hit like that. And
Mhm. And it's at a specific time when your heart's in a certain
Yo, and
rhythm.
and
It's like a
hyper-
millisecond of time, and
but
that
this goes back to hyperbolic statements, right? The hyperbole. That's a heart-stopping hit. Yeah, and in real life, it can be.
yeah.
Right, so like
Yeah.
those things now psychologically are in that, right? They're like
You got to think about it. You know, like I love football. You know, I wish I could have played. You know, back in the day. I have a nephew who plays football. I'm reconsidering everything after this. You know, like my support for the freaking sport because it is brutal. You know, and these things can happen. And then the Tua situation this year, it's like you just got to think, and you know, there's going to be another injury next year. You're just guaranteed. It's guaranteed
Yeah.
there will be more
Totally
injuries
wrong.
next year. So because that's the nature of the sport. So it's just it's sad, you know, because I mean it's brutal, but it's the highest, like most watched entertainment form every year, the Super Bowl. Think about it.
which is crazy because I mean, without the NFL, we will find things to entertain ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Is this something like, you know, we are evolving past like the days of the Coliseum where we're like, yo, we can't have people go out there and fight lions and just kill people just for entertainment? Are we getting to that point where like, hey, listen, we can't have people just run into each other and have car crashes every single week
yes,
or like body because
yeah,
for our entertainment?
yes,
know?
because bodily. Listen, it's different. It's different with Formula One. It's different with NASCAR, right? It's right. But even with hockey, the finesse of the game isn't necessary. The objectivity of the game isn't the bodily impact, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
we
Like,
we
that's
have
not-
some
that's not the
physical
focus of the
contact,
game.
right? You know,
Yeah.
and listen,
Yeah.
if we want to talk, we talking about rugby, but that ain't what we talking about. We talking about American football, and we talking about also a Bills fan, right? Your center, your Pro Bowl center, Rich, your Pro Bowl center has documented 6 concussions since 2019.
That's crazy.
Right.
6.
He plays center. All you do, nigga, is hit your head against another nigga head,
you
bruh.
do.
That's all you do. That's your job.
Like you gotta look, you gotta think about it too. Like look at special teams, right? Anytime a punt or a kickoff, these
They
guys
changed
are
that.
running.
They changed that now.
Yeah,
They
they
changed-
shortened the
they
field.
changed-
They shortened the field, but you're still
Running full
at-
speed at
they're
another
still
dude.
running full speed. All they did was, all right, we about to cut this 20 yard. Nigga, they still running 20 miles an hour down the field. So it's like that's just the nature
Punters
of the
say you
beast,
gotta
bro.
not care about your life to be a punt returner. You gotta not care about your life, and that's what they always say. You know, like it's crazy, man, when you think about it. Like, but would you watch flag football? Like, it wouldn't be this big, right? You know, if it wasn't for the violence.
I mean, I don't
Probably,
I,
but it would be some smooth shit in flag football.
Do you see the crowds that UK have for darts? Like darts.
Wow.
Like darts. Nigga, so like I think we will watch anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Joe Tiger or whatever the fuck that shit. Joe Crab during the pandemic was the highest rate because niggas just needed to watch. Niggas had an itch to watch. If it is flag football, if it's frisbee, nigga,
Meanwhile,
hell yeah, nigga.
Meanwhile, we
Yes.
got 2 other companies promoting football, XFL and USFL, coming right down in a couple of months from now, and it's like more football's gonna be on the air. I don't see this. I think it's like going the opposite direction. So this is just crazy to me. But I think as long as there is a consumer base, they're gonna make their money, and it's just a sad, capitalistic mindset of America is that
Well,
like,
I
hey,
mean,
if people are gonna watch it, then we're gonna sell it.
But that's the thing too. Football has become so popularized, and it's America's sport now, where we don't. Here I am. Like I don't want to be I'm podcasting, right? So don't get me to say what people should be doing with their time, other than what they doing with their time. You know what I'm saying? Like But again, in the grand scheme of things, the importance that we made football, right?
Yeah.
Because we put these players, we put the money that they make, right? Listen, nobody's talking about that Bradley Beal for the Washington Wizards is about to make $500 million playing basketball, and you probably like, who the fuck is Bradley Beal? Football players is like, who the fuck is Bradley Beal? Bradley Beal ain't LeBron James. Bradley Beal ain't Giannis Antetokounmpo. Bradley Beal ain't Jason Tate. Bradley
500
Beal,
million?
480 million at the end of his playing career is what he gonna make for playing for Washington.
Okay.
Just ball. Just
because he got drafted there too, right?
he got, but that's the like again the what I'm saying is that hey parents, it's some other things that niggas can do. Like, hey, a nigga turned down $440 million in baseball. He's swinging a stick to hit a ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there are other things. Niggas is scrapping to make $20 million in football. You know what I'm saying? Like the rookie, we talking about DeMar Hamlin. His rookie contract is 800. Nigga, I think John Morant get that a game. You know what I'm saying?
Think it's
like,
800 million. I think it's even shorter than that.
Like, 800,000
800,000
is his contract as his second year, but like his signing bonus was 100 grand. Nigga, Draymond Green has $100,000 in fines in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a nigga signing bonus, and that he worked his ass off and had to be the top of the top of the top to be drafted in the 6th round.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy. The mentality.
It's nuts right now. Yeah,
it's crazy, man. And I was tuned in Monday.
2023 has been
I was
a
tuned
weird
in.
year already, in so many facets. But it's definitely going to be a lot of talk about this throughout the offseason.
Yep.
There's definitely going to be a lot of changes made. But I don't see NFL going anywhere. I don't see I don't think football going nowhere. I don't think many changes are going to make them. I think they're going to be more collisions next year. But I just hope for you and pray that this doesn't happen again, because it's taken how many hits for this to happen on the field. I don't know. So, and the reason why is because if your heart is at a certain point in its heartbeat and you get hit hard enough at the same exact, it's like a millisecond of time, it can stop your heart. And other than that, you're good. They say it doesn't throw it off. But it's unreal. It's unreal. I can't believe it.
It's unreal, bro. It's unreal, man. So it's crazy because it's something that we're gonna watch. It's something we're gonna watch this weekend. It's something we're gonna watch Wild Card Weekend. Like, we're gonna watch the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
It definitely does change the way I look at it, though. Like, I'll be honest. Like, what I support and put my energy towards. I love this sport. I played flag football this past fall and winter because I like to I like football. I just want to be out there, but it's something that I gotta look at it from a different lens. And these are human beings. So at the end of the day, just like with wrestling, they're human beings. So I always always try to take the human being's life in consideration. We all saw what happened with Owen Hart, and the stunts that have happened. People have gotten paralyzed, in the WWE as well. But we want to make the whole thing, the entertainment portion, safer. That's why we don't take fucking blatant chair shots to the head anymore. Like that whole botch with Ricochet and Gunther was kind of crazy because he smacked him in the head by accident. I was like, oh shit, we haven't seen that in a long time. But that's not supposed to happen though. It's an accident. So hopefully, I'm not sure how, but the NFL can do something to make the game a little bit safer. But how do you stop a chest hit? Like, that's how you tackle somebody. Like, I don't even know how you go about making a rule around that. But prayers up for DeMar Hamlin. I hope he gets a full, speedy recovery, and I hope that he does have some support from the NFL and the Bills to make a adequate lifestyle after this, especially with his he seems like a really, really good kid with starting a charity for his underprivileged kids, and I believe that his legacy is going to be a bit larger than just football even after this. So
it already is. And that's been a huge part of the whole prayers for Hamlin thing has been like they've been just putting up just his typical news feed and his Instagrams and just like that whole donation, like that's even at 24 25 years old, like that's really him. Like he's always the giving type, you know what I'm saying? So, and even more important than hoping that the Bills organization will be able to to help fund whatever medical needs that he may need in the future. Even more important is hoping that the NFL implements something moving forward, and that's really going to be the telltale of even how I look at the league, because it was 2-3 years where I stopped watching just behind Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah,
But
me too.
depending on these next negotiations, as far as you know what I mean, like all of this is going to be in the back of hopefully everybody's mind. So just seeing how they'll be able to navigate and what they negotiate just based on this moving forward, like, all right, cool. So we implementing this as far as healthcare and pension plan moving
Well,
forward.
one of the things too that always stop things from happening is because quarterbacks never speak up, right? When it comes to even social justice issues or yada yada yada, whatever the case may be. Yo, these is the two biggest and brightest and franchise quarterbacks in Josh Allen and Joe Burrow,
Yep.
who
Yep.
I believe are the antithesis of what a CEO of an organization is, right? I think they will make those decisions with their brothers and the union behind them and understand, like, hey, listen, Pagula, listen, whoever the owner is, Mr. Brown for the Bengals. I know y'all I'm Mr. Brown for sure. You're a penny pinching motherfucker. You're a nigga. You don't pay him, nigga. You had Marvin Lewis as our coach for 15 years because you just like, hey man, I paid a nigga. He got to come to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but I think it's going to take the quarterbacks to come in or the collective bargaining and say, hey, we will hold out because we need this. We need this.
Something has to happen, and I don't know if the Corvettes are going to do that, but we'll see. I think it's definitely going to be a huge conversation over the course of the offseason.
They try to lead.
There has to be,
man. They try to lead, man.
I hope so. I pray. That means we'll see.
It ain't Lamar Jackson. It ain't Russell Wilson. It ain't Dak Prescott. We know who we talking about. We talk about Josh Allen, the Joe Burrow. We talking about the Mahomes, the Justin Herberts, right? We talking about the even Rodgers and Brady gonna have to get on board with this because Brady. Listen, Brady, your old ass. Okay, you got.
This is for the healthcare stuff,
nigga. You get your ass, nigga. Like you don't know.
Yeah,
they gotta fix this. And it's gonna be a huge talk now that the public's eyes on it.
Yep,
it's a huge talking point. And then we have on top of that, you got to protect these guys. So like maybe better uniforms, better gear, better. I'm not sure padding. I'm not sure what technology you can put in to protect people from impact. I don't know.
I honestly feel like they've done everything they can as far as that. Like they even now they
helmet. Tua needs more padding. Tua needs the Wells Welker helmet. He doesn't have that. They done it. Wells Welker.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like they have it there, and then you have players that are opting out to no, I don't need that in my helmet. Like no, uniform is here, and it's here for your protection. Mandatory. And if it's part of this contract, put that in your fucking helmet. Like
it's true because I remember
a lot of the stuff is there.
I remember Antonio Brown and Tom Brady had the same issue about their helmets and wanted to wear the helmet that they. I do, but Tom got on board. I think Tom, and it is optional. But
it is. They got to make it mandatory because the concussions are getting out of control.
Yeah, the equipment is there for your safety, bro. It's like I can't go to my job and say, "No, nigga, I ain't wearing this hard hat." But then some concrete dropped me, nigga. I want to get paid. No, nigga, it don't work like that.
Yeah. So, there has to be some changes made. But all in all, like I say, everything is wrestling, man. So it's going to be wrestling with these contracts and the collective bargaining, and they're going to have to wrestle with how do you make this sport safer, all in all. Like, just how do you? I don't care if it takes years. Incrementally change the contract so people get more health care. You're making billions of dollars. You got to do it over time. Make the uniform more safer. Use the most state-of-the-art technology to figure this shit out. You got the money to research development. How can you make this safer?
Yeah, I got Amazon doing all this stat shit, nigga, to get this technology, put those shit in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like have some compression, joints that monitor contact and electronic fucking I'm high too, so don't give me shit.
I mean, give shit. Put them out there in an Iron Man suit. I don't give a fuck. Make sure they're safe. That's all I care about. Just figure it out. Make sure that they're safe when they're out there performing and showing people you know, hey, this is my
Listen,
talent, this is
man,
my
we
skill.
got phones and telephones that tell us when we snoring, when we sleep, and when my heartbeat is irregular.
Hmm.
Yeah, all this little bit of all that can be implemented in that equipment. Like, oh, your
Yeah,
vitals are spiking, man. You come over here real quick and get you on a
yeah.
breathing machine, or you come here
Uh-huh.
real quick, take these tights off, nigga. Your heartbeat look crazy. Like,
Uh-huh. And we have this machismo where it's like, no, I got to be out there in the game, yo, and they don't want to be embarrassed. But if your body's telling you, hey, listen, take a second, take a break, you got to set this up so that, yeah, the game has to evolve. And again, this is not the 70s, the 80s, where you can just take somebody's head off and be like, yeah, I knocked the nigga out. Like
right?
Kayvon Thibodeau, what he just did this week with like Foles is kind of disrespectful. I mean, he hit him,
Yeah, that
started
was
doing snow
wild. Yeah,
angels, and
yeah, that
then
was
and I
wild.
and I like the kid, but then afterwards he starts tweeting about it and all this stuff, like and saying sleeping on the sideline after you know he's injured. It's a little bit like, all right, dude, like take it easy. If you know you got to be able to be conscious of these people's life and livelihood, even though you get
Yep.
paid to be this machismo macho man that's going to be an assassin and hurt people. But yeah, the game is going to definitely change, and I just hope the right things are made, taking place for the safety of the players. Fuck the entertainment. I know I used to get upset about, hey, you can't hit the quarterback. Now I'm like, you know what? Change the game.
Change the game for these hoes. Change the
Is it
game
a game tonight?
for hoes. Hell nah, man.
Thursday? Nah, they yeah, they're like, nah, we gotta take a break from, and that's why the Jets might get to the playoffs. Let's go, Jets!
Man, all
Because
right. So thank you guys for tuning in. I am the Most High. All this love,
Jitty
everything.
Bang here, all love,
Nigga, we are
everything is
not gonna
wrestling.
spend no
The
time talking
Jets are going
about
to the playoffs. Let's go. And prayers up for Damar Hamlin and his family, you guys. Get well soon, recovery, and wishing you all the healing and
positivity.
energy and positivity in the world. So take care.
All right, thank you guys. 2 hours and 40 minutes. I know I'ma
Woo!
hear this
3 hours.
I'ma hear this shit, bro. Y'all niggas better send
Fucking
all the text
fucking
messages. Y'all better send all the preemptive text messages y'all need to, bro. Like
title this shit. Title this shit
Hey,
Iron Man. The Iron Man match.
we kept him. It's our fault. Yada yada yada. Because I'm about to hear.
Oh man, okay, my
So,
bad. Shit. Hey, listen, back to back 2 hour episodes. It's 2 and what? Yeah, we're almost 3 hours. Shit, you guys got your takes. I got my takes. All love, everything else. We gotta get out of here. We got shit to do. He got kids. All right.
peace.
All right. Peace, guys.
Word.
Oh man.